Audio check, 1, 2, 3. Seems alright, I guess. Yo, Burning, what's up? I was a bit bored, then I suddenly found out that this thing was today, like almost soon. I thought it was gonna be like tomorrow or something, so I thought might as well just watch, right, since I'm here. Nothing much. I assume you just woke up, so it should be pretty... You shouldn't be doing anything too significant yet. But anyway, I guess I can on the camera for this. Hope everything's good. What if I shrink it a bit? I don't want like full screen. So where's my Firefox? Right click, stretch, fit the screen. The music is clear and everything, right? I'm using that to test audio. It should be fine. Okay, music is good. Very nice, very nice. Then let's see how this goes. Okay, pop out chat. We will begin shortly. I don't know what this is going to be about. I'm not expecting like mega news. A lot of people are saying like, oh, new demo, new beta, whatever, announce monster, stuff. I don't even know what to expect. I'm just doing this because I'm bored. And I'm just waiting for this to start. Okay, it hasn't started yet. They're announcing the game launching early, to be exact. Wow. If only. It feels like it's been 8:43 for like 12 minutes. Oh. There we go. Audio still okay, huh? Just double checking again. I don't even know what to expect from this, honestly speaking. Thanks, Burning. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hi Lin, yep, I turned on the camera today. I've always had a camera, I just don't usually turn it on. Whenever I start to think... it's at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Okay, I guess we got 15 minutes to go. What a scam, man. Is there something I can do in the meantime? Classic one hand. Yep. No, it's only 15 minutes, Lin. No time for that. At least not enough time. After, see how. Maybe not. I will not promise anything. Ooh, come back. Can at least listen to the music. In the meantime, what should I do? What do I have on my Switch that I could touch for 15 minutes? What's the community update for? I don't know. The game's not out yet. So, everybody's just listening to this for like news or something. And I am wondering what you guys are expecting. Also, hi Domo. Yeah, I'm wondering whether there's anything you are expecting to see in this game. I have zero expectations. I'm just curious because I'm bored. What could I spend about 10 minutes on? You're expecting a second demo, but the odds is low. Yeah, that's fair. I am not expecting a second demo, but it would be cool if there was one. The devs did mention that they wanted to rebalance some weapons, so mayhaps it might be to share about the changes. Who knows? Did they show up anything on Twitter or whatever? You go watch other channels, later come back see art. Okay, see you, Lin. Square Enix official merch shop open in Shibuya today. The Zack's damn cute. Axel and Roxas and who that King Mickey. MVC1 soundtrack released from over 20 years ago came with a link to a password protected secret site. Blah blah blah. Wolverine Chun-Li's team. Okay, so it's just extra nonsense. Oh yeah. Sony has bought over some shares of Kadokawa. They own about 10% of it now, and Kadokawa is basically a company that owns Elden Ring. From Soft and whatever. So people are like shitting their pants over like, oh no, Sony's gonna own Dark Souls, Elden Ring, whatever, and we're like, it's 10% of the shares, it's not a lot, it's not a majority, they are just the largest shareholders, largest individual singular shareholder. If anybody has played the Pokemon trading card game Pocket, this is the new bullshit. Using Celebi with a lot of energy, and then Jinx with Psychic is now the counter. Cause you do more damage for each energy card that you have, and it's very easy to get like 6 energy minimum on a Celebi, so they use Psychic to counter that. Makes sense. Okay, about 10 more minutes. Ooh, Shadow Armor. I decided not to play games and we just scroll through. Oh my god. Execute. Tama. Evolution. Doesn't Kadokawa publish manga? They have a lot of stuff. Manga, anime, games, so on and so forth. You see, all the Western media is just very hardcore tunnel vision focusing onto From Software. They don't give a shit about anything else. That's how things are. But yes, they publish manga. I know them most for manga and light novels. But they do other things as well. And yes, as of like about earlier today, the Switch has outsold the PlayStation 2 in the USA. Just specifically in the US region. So now it's trailing behind the Nintendo DS. I get him. I decided to live stream this thing out of boredom. So we'll see how it goes. I don't even know how it's like. Or how it's going to be. And while waiting for the actual thing to start, I'm just walking through my Twitter. 8 more minutes. You forgot they're even doing this. They only announced it a short bit ago. So like, let's go. Monster Hunter. Yeah, they announced it 8 hours ago only. So the community team will be joined by the director to discuss the improvements and adjustments in the work for launch. Oh, so probably no new monsters, no demo, whatever. It's just the adjustments they decided to make. And yes, the new Trails remake thingy is coming. I'm surprised that it's being published by Gang Ho. But it is what it is. Kirin beer. Herbal or verbal tea. Footage of FF14 mobile gameplay. I mean, we got time. Let's just see how this goes. Hi, Rice. How you doing? Oh, there's actually going to be combat and stuff for the FF14 mobile. Is there actually going to be multiplayer? Oh my god, the fat chocobo flying is quite cute. You remember that this game is going to be free. So the monetization thing is going to be like minimal. And I don't know how that's going to work. Also it's in Chinese. But yeah, we are just waiting for the thing now. About 5-6 more minutes. We just woke up, slowly getting better since getting out of the hospital. Yeah, it's good to hear. I only knew you went to the hospital. I don't know how you ended up there, but I hope recovery goes smoothly for you, Rice. Take care of yourself, take it easy, don't rush, don't stress yourself too much. You should know all this. You still haven't unlocked Paladin even in the demo for 14. I haven't played 14 ever since that one time I tried it. Happy anniversary Dissidia, and then there's Clive at the side being like, I'm here guys. Nintendo might be way too overprotective of the brand the majority of the time, but not wanting Samus to wear dunks if a guy's head putting out a toilet strap to her back seems a bit reasonable. Lamau. Okay. Right, you went over a big rock on your e-bike and you broke a bone in your left leg. Oh shoot! Okay, that's quite major. So what, do you fly off the e-bike or something? Oh, it sounds quite... I'm trying to imagine how you fly off and land or whatever to injure your... and break your left bone. But that's quite major, please take care. Do what you need to do to recover. I'm very thankful that I haven't really gotten any major injuries in my whole life. Usually just scratches, cuts, stuff like that. Right now the most annoying so-called injury, quote unquote, that I have is my big toenail got cracked a few months back. So it's now growing in the uneven manner where there's the new nail growing below, the old dead nail is above, but still slightly connected in the corner. And then below there's also, in between them there's a blood clot. So it's like slowly trying to grow out. So for the part that's already opened up, I've already snipped off a bit of it to trim it. Cause otherwise that corner is just going to keep poking into my flesh. And I'm just waiting as is. So we got that. Okay. Now it's 9:58. Okay, we have like 2 more minutes or less. Yeah, now everybody's joking about the Sony thing because every time Nintendo, the Switch sales inch closer to the PS2, Sony is like 2 more million were sold. They're like, it feels like they're pulling it out of nowhere, so a lot of people are just joking about it now. We are happy to announce that before they get carried away, there's 4 million more PS2 sold in the US. Okay, 1.5 more minutes. We lost control of full. Oh my god! 48 kilometers per hour. That'll be enough to break something. I feel like maybe 30 something you might not die, you might not break anything, you might just get bruised quite badly or something, but going above 40 something, like 40 to 45, I think you can break stuff already. That's a yikes. Ah, Kage. This guy is on like mega tunnel vision. You know what, let's leave it on the Kage screen and then we go to this. One minute. Developer update. We are deleting Bo. I don't know what other shit tag I can say. There will only be Ratalossus with instant Retians with instant charges in the game and no other monsters. Lao Shanlong is coming back. 1-for-1 replica of the original game. No changes made. And you have to fight him underwater. Oh.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Monster Hunter Wilds pre-launch community update. My name's Jono, EME Community Manager on Monster Hunter.
Tokuda Yuya.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe. I'm the Capcom USA Community Manager on Monster Hunter.
And it will. They already showed it off in a few clips.
The very first time will be bilingual in English and Japanese, which is a brand new concept for us. So we hope you enjoy it. And you'll probably not be surprised to find out why we're having it in English and Japanese, because as you can see, we have two very special guests with us. We have Monster Hunter Wilds director Yuya Tokuda, as well as Patrick from Capcom Europe, who will be translating for us. Hello. It's great to have you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Now, Joe, we've introduced our esteemed guests. We've said hello, but why are we here today?
We don't need this.
Yeah, today is a really special stream. Again, we have some special guests here joining us, and we would like to share a sincere thank you to everybody out there who participated in the open beta test that we held at the end of October. And today we're going to be spending some time talking about how a lot of the feedback from that open beta has influenced the development of the main game. So just to kind of recap, the open beta was held with a couple of goals. The first, I think the most obvious one is we were able to give everybody a chance to play the game. It's a new hunting experience, new game, and it was great seeing everybody's responses. But the second part of that was really to test the different technology that's in the game, things like network load and game operation. So it was really great to see everybody's feedback and responses, but the team has really been working on the full game separately and making a lot of improvements and adjustments. And again, we just want to share thanks to everybody for sharing your feedback.
Turn it up a bit.
Social media, our official survey, or through different places online. And while a lot of that feedback covers some known issues and things that we originally already planned to address in the final version of the game, a lot of the feedback actually covered some bugs and things that the team was not aware of or didn't intend to fix, so it was extremely helpful. And some of those fixes and adjustments are now prioritized for the final game, thanks to your feedback, and we're going to talk about a lot of that today.
Oh yeah, I remember the monsters kept running away in the beta. It was
a
a bug.
previews go live recently, right? And they actually had some details that we're going to discuss today.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the community response to that was fantastic. So if you have seen the previews, you will recognize some of the content in today's broadcast, but there is so much more. And on top of that as well, this stream is an opportunity for the development team to speak directly to you, to introduce even more and clarify what you may have seen in the previews as well. But please do keep in mind that this isn't fully comprehensive. There's even more adjustments to the final game beyond what you will see here today. And what is shown may not necessarily be final and is, of course, always subject to change. Now, obviously, now we've covered that. Let's talk about our guests. Obviously having director Yuya Tokuro here is so much fun. And Patrick will be doing the Japanese to English, so you'll be hearing a lot of them both. So Tokuro-san, what would you like to say to everyone before we get stuck in?
はい、最初に所さんから自己紹介やコメントをお願いします。
コメントお
は
願いします。
モンスターハンターワイルズディレクターの徳田優です、今日はこのような場を設けていただきありがとうございます。僕はモンスターハンター G から20年間、モンスターハンターを作り続けております。今日はよろしくお願いします。
Introduction.
Hello everyone, I'm Yuya Tokuro, the director of Monster Hunter Wilds. It's really nice to be here with you guys today. It's a good opportunity to speak to you directly. I've been working on the Monster Hunter series for
Monster
20
Hunter
years
G.
now, ever since Monster Hunter G times. So yeah, good to get a chance to talk to you and let's have fun.
Amazing, yeah. But the open beta test was, honestly, it was the response was overwhelming. We saw just a huge variety of responses and feedback and just people enjoying it and also sharing, what they thought of it in a constructive way. So, Tokuro-san, could you talk a little bit about what your initial impressions were seeing all the different reactions to the beta?
オープンベータテストの、ユーザーの反応への徳田さんの反応について教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい、まず本当にたくさんの方にご参加いただき、ありがとうございました。クロスプレイ、のマッチングサーバーにもし問題があった場合に、修正期間を取るために、モンスターハンターワールドのオープンベータテストよりも1ヶ月早く、開催したんですけれども、おかげさまで大きなサーバートラブルもなくテストを終えることができました。
Freaking chat is so toxic.
Yeah, thank you very much, first of all, to all the many players around the world who took part in the beta. It was a very useful experience for us. You may have realized that the timeline was even earlier on this beta than the one we had from Monster Hunter World back in the day. It was about a month earlier before launch. The reason we had this one earlier was because of the addition of crossplay to Monster Hunter Wilds.
So they're ironing out
That
problems.
new system meant that we really wanted to make sure we had enough time to fix any issues that might have arisen with crossplay and matchmaking on the servers. But fortunately, we were able to get through the open beta test without any significant hitches in that area.
Okay.
また皆さんの、楽しかっただったりだとか、もっとこうだったらよかったなみたいな、声を糧にしてですね、チーム全体がモチベーションを上げて、制作や改善に取り組むことができました。
Of course, it wasn't just about technical confirmation. It was also great to just see everyone's feedback, hearing all the players say how fun it was to play the game. And of course, your wishes and requests for things that you weren't enjoying quite as much about it. It was all such valuable feedback, and it's been great motivation for us
I
to
didn't realize
just
it's 11
finish
PM
the full
for
game
Japan.
and make it even better. So
Freaking
thank you again
Yuya
for that.
Tokuro is like working till midnight.
Yeah, it really was a fantastic opportunity for everyone and for us to get some great learnings and observations too. And obviously, we've mentioned the open beta and what you thought about that. What were your thoughts, Tokuro-san, on the recently published previews and interviews we've seen from press from around the globe?
はい、先日メディアのプレビューも公開されていると思うんですけど、徳田さんは確認されてますか？いかがでしたでしょうか？
はい、まず世界中からですね、初心者からベテランさんまで、すごく幅広い層の、ライターさんが、大阪に来てくださって、OBT からの改善点はもちろんですけど、ゲーム作品としてそもそもどうなのかだったりだとか、部分についてですね、とても楽しんで、ポジティブなレビューをたくさんくださったので、まずとても嬉しかったです。
Yeah, that was a really great experience. We had journalists from all over the world come and join us in Osaka, and it was a real range of people in terms of Monster Hunter play experience. Some of them were veteran hunters like yourselves, some of them were more on the beginner side, and getting to see their positive preview impressions was really exciting for me, because not just in terms of getting the news out there about improvements that have been made since the open beta test in the version they played, but
Yeah.
their take on the game as a whole. That was something that was really fun for me to see, especially because it was very positive.
Very positive.
もうこれだけ
Okay.
できてるんだったらもう大阪から帰りたくないみたいなことを言うメディアの方もいらっしゃいました。興味ある方はぜひ記事とか動画とかもチェックしてみてください。
Some of them were having so much fun and they said the game felt so finished already. They just didn't want to leave Osaka. They wanted to stay there and keep playing it for a long time. But unfortunately, we had to release them from the office.
Release
But
them.
yeah, if anyone hasn't checked out those preview impressions already, I'd encourage you to take a look because they were really great to see.
はい、ではそれではここからはジョーとジョノから、説明があった通り、製品版で調整される内容と、OBT から変更される内容について、ユーザーの皆様にお知らせしたいと思います。
So fast.
So yeah, as you guys, Joe and Jono, both mentioned earlier, today is a chance for me to talk directly to the community about some adjustments that me and the team are making to the game based on all the valuable feedback we got from you players about the open beta test.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. I think we have a lot to cover today. So let's start with our first topic. Our first topic is performance. So during the open beta test, which was actually running on an earlier version of the game that's different from the internal version that the team is working on, we actually mentioned that the final release will have improved performance over the open beta test. So Takuda-san, could you walk us through how the team is improving performance with the full version?
はい、最初に製品版で目標にしているパフォーマンスについて教えてもらえると思いますのでお願いします。
お願いします。
はい、まず実物を見ていただくのが一番分かりやすいと思いますので、まだ最終バージョンではないんですけれども、プレイステーション5でフレームレート優先モードでのプレイ映像をお持ちしたので、ご覧ください。
Yeah, we've got some slides with some details coming up, but I think first of all, I really want you guys to just get your eyes on a gameplay video to understand where the performance is at. So I've prepared a video that's running on PlayStation 5 in prioritized performance mode. It's not the final version of the game, but it's a more up-to-date version than the one you would have played in the OBT. So let's take a look at that now.
Oh my god. That is pretty smooth. Hey, offset parry! I feel I'm gonna enjoy Great Sword a lot in this game just for the offset parries.
はい、このように、OBT の時よりも、綺麗なグラフィックで、60フレーム近くでプレイできる状態になっています。
Yeah, hopefully that gave you an impression of how much better the game is looking already since the OBT. It's running at almost the target of 60 frames per second, so it's looking great, I think.
はい、改めまして目標としているスペックですけれども、PS5 の解像度優先モードでは、4K30fps で安定してプレイできることをターゲットにしています。
30 FPS.
So as per the slide we have here, just to talk you through the target numbers that we have. On the PlayStation 5 in the prioritized graphics mode, we're running a rendered output of 4K with a targeted frame rate of 30 frames a second.
I wonder how many people actually bother to
フ
use
レームレート優
prioritized
先モードで
graphics.
はレンダリング解像度は異なりますが、60fps で、遊べるようにターゲットしています。
And for prioritized frame rate, that brings the rendering resolution down as you can see, but then the target frame rate gets to 60 frames a second.
OBT では目標のフレームレートに出ていなかった上にですね、フレームレート優先モードでは描画の不具合がありまして、髪の毛とか、羽毛のような表示の時に、ジャギーのようなものが発生するようになってまして、ちょっと綺麗じゃない状態になっておりました。先ほどご覧いただきましたように製品版の方ではフレームレート含めて改善していますので、ご安心ください。
So the target frame rate
Guys,
that
I
we
don't
have
think they're
here
reading
was
chat.
not being achieved in the OBT build. To be honest, it was an earlier version that wasn't quite as optimized. And there were also some rendering issues with the graphics when using frame priority mode, the prioritized frame rate. A lot of players reported seeing jagged edges on.
Alright, remember this is not actually a live
elements
stream,
such
this is a
as,
premiere. They already
feathers
pre-recorded
and more
this.
fine details.
Okay, so
As you will have hopefully
Yeah,
gotten an impression
have
of
to
in the
go
video we just
stay
showed,
up
this
to
has
11
been greatly
PM.
improved in the full version, and the frame rate is also hitting close to that target of 60 frames a second.
はい、あと、プレイステーション5 Pro エンハンスド対応については、製品版発売時の Day1 パッチにて、対応を予定しています。プレイステ PlayStation 5 Pro でのゲームプレイは、グラフィック表現がより強化、を予定しておりまして、
Something about PlayStation 5
詳細については
Pro, roughly
今後の情報をお待ちください。
Also, just one thing to confirm is that PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced support is incoming, and it'll be ready with the day one patch on release day of the title next year. That's going to enhance the graphics for PlayStation 5 Pro users, so please stay tuned for more details on that as we get closer to launch.
はい、Xbox シリーズ X と、シリーズ S につきましても、PlayStation 5版と同様な、パフォーマンス向上に取り組んでいます。
Moving on then to Xbox, you can see here that on the Xbox Series X and Series S, we're aiming at similar improvements over the OBT compared to what I just described for the PlayStation 5 as per the slide.
新版でもご利用の環境設定によって変動はありますけれども、パフォーマンスの向上について、同様に取り組んでおりまして、OBT と同じスペックの機材であっても着実にフレームレートなど、向上しています。
Steam is of course a bit more complicated. It
Steam is
varies
more
greatly
complicated.
depending on
No
your own
shit.
personal rig, your hardware, and the settings you have set up. But we are working on improving the performance of that too, and the frame rate and other performance you can expect from the same equipment you might have used in the OBT will be improved for the full version of the game. So please wait a little longer to get a chance to experience that.
これは本当におとつい聞いた最新の情報なんですけれども、推奨スペックとしてご案内しているグラフィックボードについてももう少し下げられる、可能性が、出てきております。正確な情報が、固まり次第公式サイトなどで、アナウンスさせていただきます。
This is actually something that I've literally just confirmed with the team yesterday or the day before, so it's very hot off the press news, but we're looking at hopefully lowering the level of the minimum recommended graphics board specs.
Oh,
to allow,
lowering the
more
recommended
players
specs.
with
Not bad, not
that
bad.
level of hardware to play the game. The final details are still being worked on.
Seems simple
so
to
I
you.
can't
You
share
hope
more
Steam gets
today,
updated.
but
You don't want your
again,
PC
stay
turning into a
tuned
heater.
to official
I
channel
think most
on
of
our
us
website,
are
and we'll
concerned
hopefully
about
get
that.
more details about that out soon.
Like my PC is
That
kind
is
of old,
really, really
so I'm
cool.
also a
And,
bit like.
I mean, Joe and I can both attest that
concerned
following
about
the
it.
OBT, performance was an important topic for the community across all platforms. So it's really, really cool to be able to share the performance and visual improvements for all versions and platforms of the game across the board. So thank you for that, Guda-san. One little question though, because we did see some members of the community, particularly on PC, concerned whether or not they had a powerful enough hardware or rig to run the game on PC. Especially seeing, out there's such a wide range of hardware amongst the gaming community.
We all need to prepare our
is
fire
there anything
extinguishers.
The team are thinking of or looking at doing to help players on PC determine if their rig will run on Sunto WoW.
Steam ユーザーはそれぞれのプレイヤーがさまざまな環境で遊んでいると思いますけれども、発売前に自分の環境で、期待できるパフォーマンスを確認したいユーザーがたくさんいると思うんですけど、
Potato friendly!
何かしら対策を考えたりしますでしょうか。
Dragon's Dogma 2 also Monster Hunter Worlds could
さま
run.
ざまな改
Bring
善
on
とか
Switch.
最適化が進んでいる中でですね、その製品版の環境でご自身の機材がどのように機能するかというのは、発売前に知りたいというのは、非常によく、分かっております。
When Switch
現在
release,
そう
when
した
Switch
方に
release,
向
when
け
Switch
て
release.
ベンチマークとご用意でき
There's
ない
the
か、
brain rot.
検討しています。で
The
きるできない
Kenji
や時期な
level
ど
spamming
決定しましたら
also
またお知らせいた
kind
し
of.
ます。
Yeah, I totally understand the PC players on Steam really want to know before launch if their rig is going to be giving them the performance that they want. While we are, as I said, working to improve the performance greatly before launch, we're considering as well releasing a benchmark tool for Steam players, and that'll let you more directly check how your PC hardware is going to run the game. So that's something that's still in the works at the minute, and if that becomes finalized,
YouTube is
again,
super
we'll
toxic,
release
I
further
know.
details on that in due course. So
I'm looking at
Stay tuned.
Coco's side. Oh, I don't. He stopped sharing
we'll
the.
await any
the
further
chat,
details
so I have no
on a
clue.
potential benchmark tool. And overall, those were some really
But I
great
saw a
updates
bit
on
of videos now.
performance,
It
but
looks
let's go ahead and
slightly
transition
less
to some of the
toxic.
gameplay-specific adjustments to either weapon actions
Than
and the
YouTube.
overall hunting experience. And I
Polygon
think both John and I
benchmark.
know that one of the biggest
DD2
topics
also Monster Hunter
and
Worlds.
concerns from the community were
Run.
changes to hit stop and the overall impact of weapons. And this was really something that we saw quite a bit of feedback on, looking for a little bit more punch to the different weapons. In our recent round of previews, we
3DS
actually did
release.
confirm that there were some improvements made to this area. So, Takuma-san, can you detail what these tweaks are?
はい、パフォーマンスに続けて武器の調整についてですけれども、多くのユーザーから、もう少しパンチが欲しい、手応えを感じたいっていうフィードバックが寄せられていると思うんですけど、これに対してチームの方で予定している調整などについて教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい、オープンベータテストでは、いわゆるヒットストップや、
ヒットストップ
サウンドエフェクトが過去作に比べて弱いというご意見いただいております。これらについて OBT では一部対応が漏れていたものもあったんですけど、
I'm actually not a fan of that.
多くの武
Let me
器
just say.
特に大技とか決
Yeah,
め
Curious
技
how
を
your plan
中心に
Build even run
攻撃の手応
We
え
have
を
to
より
see.
感じていただけるような調整をしており
But
ます。
yeah, I'm actually not a fan of the removing of friendly
This
fire.
is, what people refer to as hit stop. It's something that we were aware of.
Okay, but hit stop is basically when you this is a monster and then you hit it. Normally you just cut through it, but hit stop is like you
So
then you go through it.
when it comes to making those weapons,
So it's most
feel
obvious in
ready
weapons
and
like Great Sword when
impactful
you
in terms
charge,
of hit stop and
hit,
sound effects.
and then you go through.
We are planning to make further adjustments.
In
and
Smash
move
Brothers
forward
terms, it's
with
the
again
moment when
in
you
that area.
hit before the guy flies.
一つの例として、
There's a moment of like
の
the way the game
体験の
freezes
新
for a
ため切り
bit
の動画を
before
お持ちしました
things
ので
continue
ご覧ください。
That is hit stop.
I've got a video here that we can show in a second, which shows
Yes,
you the
as what
true
Gurasim
charge
says,
slash
it
of the great
makes
sword.
attacks you
And
more,
that's
more weighty
how
and
it looks
impactful.
after these adjustments have been made to make these big moves and finishers feel more meaty. So let's show the video, please,
Okay,
and
let's
see
show
how
the
that
video
looks.
now. This release for Apple Watch. These are training room targets. Okay, see there's a pause a little bit. Then you hit. Boom, bomb. Boom, then it goes through. Yeah. I hope you can see roughly what it means by like hit stop. It's basically when you hit,
はい、
things stop for a bit
体
before they
験
continue.
実は新ため切りダメージ量の方も、増やしてます。ダメージ量限らずですけど、このヒットエフェクトだったりだとか、
Yeah.
ヒットストップについてももろもろ調整を行っていますし、サウンドですね、音についても調整してますので、トータルでヒット感は、向上しています。
So that move that we just saw, the true charge slash, has also actually had its damage output increased. But even for moves where I haven't changed the damage output, I've heard you guys on things like hit stop, on sound effects.
How much of an issue was friendly
how
fire
the
in the
moves
beta?
feel to
It's not
actually
really a
use.
big issue,
So
Graham.
those kind of adjustments are being made. not
There's
just
less
on the
friendly fire
great
in
sword, I'll use it as an
the
example here, 'cause it's
beta
kinda easy to
compared to
understand,
like
but across the board on all weapon
original
types.
Rise, original World and everything. They already reduced
はい、
friendly
ヒットスト
fire.
ップに
You
関
can't
しては
even
ですね
upswing people with a
モンス
Great
ター
Sword
ハンターワール
anymore.
ドをリリースした当初には、
That's how much they reduced it, and they are reducing it further.
ヒットストップが強すぎるとか、
I'm
重すぎる
not a
みたい
fan
な
of
ご
this
意見を
decision.
すごくいただいたんです
It's
けれ
just
ども、
making like
今回
positioning just goes to
の
shit.
オープンベータですと逆に
Especially when people
弱いという
play
ご意見を
this
たくさんいた
version
だ
and
き
go
ま
back
し
to an
て、
older version.
モンスターハン
They
ター
will
の
not
持ち
know
味
how
で
to
あるこ
position at
の、
all.
重みのあるアクションという感覚
And just be
が
like,
世界中の方に受け入れられ始めているん
Use
だ
your
なという
shockproof
こと
jewel, use
も
your
感
free
じ
free
まし
jewel.
て、感慨深くもありました。
Yes, they're announcing now that they are reducing it
Actually, for me to
further
receive this
from what we
feedback
got in
in
the beta
I'm
to make
thinking
it
back
even
to
less friendly
Monster
fire.
Hunter World, which I also worked on.
And again,
back
I'm not a fan
then,
of it.
There was a lot of player feedback, especially outside Japan.
And yeah, Shockproof Jewel
where
is back.
players
They're just
felt
talking about
game
it
was
straight
actually too
away.
weighty. The animations
Shockproof
were too
Jewel.
slow, and that's completely the opposite of what we heard this time, where people were saying the Wilds OPT, everything felt a bit too light and floaty and weaker. So I'm taking that as a positive, where I feel like in the years between Monster Hunter World coming out
That
and
makes no
the
sense,
Monster
but
Hunter
regardless.
Wilds OPT,
It's just
players
for
around the world have
accessibility,
gotten used
you
to
know.
that. Meaty,
If no one gets
weighty
flinch,
hit-stop
everybody can
action
stay at a
is
hit and
kind
hit
of one
and
of
enjoy
the
and have fun.
hallmarks of Monster Hunter.
Which means positioning
So
goes to shit.
knowing that they've accepted that and they wanted it back based on the OBT is actually something that I think is really interesting, and also it's really nice for me to hear.
No, that's really,
Wait,
really
wait,
cool.
wait,
You know,
wait, bro.
I'm looking forward to seeing
Hit
those
stop a
meaty
bit too much,
chops
keep it at
and
Rise
big
level.
bonks,
Rise
come
has very
February.
little hit stop already.
And obviously, you know, we've spoken about how weapon
the heck?
interactions with monsters have been adjusted, but we're also looking at friendly fire and how that works, right? I understand that this was actually something as well that the team were looking into and considering before the open beta test went live.
はい、フレンドリーファイアの機能について確かにオープンベータテスト、配信前からも検討されていたと聞いてるんですけど、こちらは OBT を受けてどのような調整を予定しているのでしょうか。
はい、ゲームズコーンや TGS の、私有ロムでは、
I disagree with this
ガラ
statement.
ンスの流撃法などによって、
This statement means that
仲間
you
が
need to
飛ば
lose
される
damage
いわゆるコーフレンドリー
because
フ
you're
ァイア
that
が
one deco
ありました
slot,
けれど
lose your
も、
own.
OBT のタイミング
You
では
need to
多くの
lose that one
調整を
slot because
緩和し
other
ました
people cannot position. You should
this
not be
is
getting
something that,
punished for
as you
other
said,
people playing
before
badly.
even the OBT came out. We had
I
our
disagree with
first
this statement.
playable globally at Gamescom earlier in the year. Then we had Tokyo Game Show. And the adjustments that we started to make for Friendly Fire were already present in those builds. So, for example, the Wyvern Fire of the Gunlance is something that we'd already toned down the effect even
Yep.
before the OBT started.
You
なんか
cannot knock
OBT
your
の時
friends
点で
over
も
with
ハ
it.
ンマーの勝ち上げなど一部こうフレッドリーファイアが残ってしまったものもあったんですけど、それらも製品版の方では、修正予定となります。
That said, as a lot of players will have noticed in the OBT, there were some Friendly Fire things that we hadn't handled yet. So upswing attacks on the hammer in particular, I think were causing a lot of people to be thrown around the place. And that's something that we're looking to get into a better place and fix it up for the final game.
Fix.
サンブレイクの方で
AKA
実装されました、ダメージリアクションを無効化するこの干渉銃、といった、装飾品も実装予定です。
And just to mention as well, something that wouldn't have applied during the OBT, but the Shockproof Jewel, which you might remember from recently Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, is going to be in the full game, and that will further help you nullify those damage reactions.
の調整後のハンマーの勝ち上げの動画も持ってきましたので、ご覧ください。
I've got another video with me today, so if we can please show that, then you should get an idea of how the hammer upswing looks after these adjustments have been made. So let's take a look.
Oh man. Okay, at least they still get knocked over, but still.
Yeah, the example is really great at kind of showing side by side the changes that have been made there. So, I think with Friendly Fire, this is one of those changes where there's a lot of different players a lot of different types of players that it may impact. So, Takuda-san, can you talk a little bit more about the intention behind making this change?
フレンドリーファイアですとプレイヤーの意見も分かれる仕様だと思うんですけど、徳田さんの今回変更を入れた意図についてもう少し詳しく教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい、フレンドリーファイヤーの軽減は残念なに思っている方もいるトピックだと、こちらも認識しています。今回ですね、ガンランスの流撃砲の範囲を結構思い切って広げたんですけど、この範囲で、ぶっ飛ばしを残してしまうと、マルチプレイですごく大きな、支障になってしまいます。
Yeah, I know what you mean because Friendly Fire is one of those features I think some players enjoy, the bit of the chaos, and they might find it disappointing to hear that it's being reduced, but it's all part of my overall balancing sort of approach. So to take the Gunlance Wyvern Fire as an example, the range of that attack has actually been greatly expanded with Monster Hunter Wilds, and that meant that just the sheer range at which Friendly Fire could occur was kind of becoming something of a hindrance to having an effective multiplayer hunt.
You already nerfed it in
こう
WoW.
いう行動はルールを理解しているプレイヤー同士なら楽しく感じていただける要素にもなり得るんですけれども、クロスプレイだったり、救難信号によって、幅広いユーザーの方がマルチプレイする機会というのがすごく増えている中で、初心者のユーザーの方がルールがわからないままぶっ飛ばしてしまったりだとか、特にそういう要素があることによってマルチプレイを避けてしまうようなことを、避けたいと考えて、今回、こうした実装をしております。
I think that kind of scrappy, chaotic feel that you get from Friendly Fire is something that players who understand it and they know how to avoid it or when it's going to happen, those people can have an understanding with each other and enjoy that. But we've now got crossplay and we've got a wider range than ever.
It's always just about the accessibility.
Experience levels of hunters joining the game.
Easier for
and I
newcomers.
want to avoid a scenario where this level of extra range attacks causing Friendly Fire.
But you see, this is a problem with his approach. His approach is you make lower level people have a less problem, but they never learn. They will never learn because you do
understand
this.
why it's happening and not find that enjoyable, and then they'd end up avoiding going online and playing multiplayer with other players. So it's really part of my intention to make sure that everyone can enjoy.
You're worried that they will not enjoy it, but then now you're not teaching them to learn how to do it either. To learn to
that
avoid
makes
Friendly
sense. I mean, it's
Fire.
making it more approachable for new players and less frustrating for experienced players who are playing alongside these new players joining the community. And kind of moving on from that as well, something that actually Joe and I encountered
Disagree.
ourselves and what we saw within the community and content creators was that during the open beta test, they felt that monsters move locations way more
Yeah,
often than
dude,
they
like,
expected.
The location moving was a bug in the beta.
ジョノとジョーもご自身で
That's
遊ん
quite
だ時に気づいた仕様なんですけれども、
Adjusting so that
モンスタ
monsters
ーは
move between different
エリア
areas
移動す
at a
る
similar frequency
仕
to
様に
world.
なってたと思うんですけど、キュリティ
I wanted it to be a bit
た
less
くさん
frequent than
あ
WoW
る
actually.
仕様だったと思いますので、こちら
WoW
に
was
ついて
still
はどれだけ
semi-frequent.
移動的なものだ
Depending
っ
on
た
the
でしょう
monster.
か。
Some monsters were
はい、
alright, some were
OBT ではですね、その
quite
プログラム的な不具合とですね、調整不足の両方が重なりまして、モンスターのエリア移動が、頻繁に発生していました。
Yeah, the actual truth is that there was a bit of a bug or glitch in the open beta test build, which meant that monsters were moving between areas more frequently than we intended. So the behavior you guys noticed in the open beta test build isn't something that was finally fully adjusted to where we wanted it to be.
製品版では、モンスターハンターワールドに近いような移動頻度になるように調整を入れています。
So yeah, we've worked on that since the open beta test build was created, and the final version should be more close in feeling to Monster Hunter World in terms of how often you feel the monsters are moving around.
Got it. Yeah. So even though that the amount of frequency that a monster might move locations has been toned down a little bit, sometimes a monster moving locations significantly is kind of like a way of expressing its personality. So are there still some situations where a monster might move significantly?
それでも製品版ではエリア間の移動をする場合があると理解していいんですね。
もちろんモンスターがフィールドの中でどんどんこう移動していって、それを追い詰めていってハンティングするというのはモンスターハンターの、醍醐味の一つでもありますので、モンスターは移動していきます。
Yeah, that's right. It's one of the sort of key features of Monster Hunter is that you're chasing these monsters around these vast environments. So it's not like they're never going to move anywhere and you're just going to be stuck in one place to hunt them. You're still going to have that feeling of the chase where they move between different parts of the field as the hunt progresses.
またですね、特に生態系の上位に属するようなモンスター、すごく強いモンスターはですね、ベースキャンプから離れた場所、フィールドの奥深くに巣を構えていることが多くあります。今回はフィールドが、広大になっているということもありまして、いろんな緩和種類は入れているんですけれども、それでも品種移動などの際に、大きく移動するということがあります。
Also, the maps are much bigger in this game than any previous Monster Hunter, and that means there's more turf to cover. And when it comes to things like the monsters who are at the top of the food chain in a particular map, their nests or their home turf within the map can be pretty deep into the area, and it can be some distance to cover. So if you get them to a weakened state and they're doing the thing where they limp back to their nest to try and recover, that's still going to be an occasion where you're going to have some ground to cover in order to chase them and find them again.
そうした場合はですね、その狩りたいモンスターの生息域だったり移動ルートに合わせた場所に簡易キャンプを立てて、ファストトラベルなどを使って先回りするような、使い方というのもすごく有効になります。
What to do?
I would recommend.
I'm also not a fan of the friendly fire
game
removal.
That you can actually use the pop-up camp feature to its fullest. So
worried that new players will get flinched and then
a particular monster's nest
don't want to play.
The map, and if it's
then like this, you're also not going to teach them about
areas,
positioning ever.
You can go ahead and sort of do a recce and find it out and put a pop-up camp there in advance. So that when that
fine
monster
balance
starts
between
to get weakened and
a possibility for new players
you can fast
and
travel to the pop-up camp and get there quickly.
Making the higher level gameplay
so a little
more
bit of planning, a little bit of prep, and it will pay off in the hunt, which is always handy. And you know, moving on, we've already covered a lot of juicy changes. We've been getting stuck straight in. So let's kind of move over to adjustments to something that's really important and helps really define a hunter's identity in game, and that we're all very passionate about: our weapons. So we know many people are really interested in this.
Passionate about the weapons.
In our recent previews, the team showed off some changes to the Insect Glaive. But that's not the only weapon. Multiple weapons have received adjustments, but a few in particular, like the aforementioned Insect Glaive, have received the most attention, right?
Yup.
武器の調整についてですけれども、プレビューのインタビューなどで徳田さんは特に総中根などの武器がかなり OBT に比べて大きく調整が入っているというふうにコメントをいただいていると思うんですけど、こちらについてもう少し詳細に教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい、特に総中根、ランス、スラッシュアックス、片手剣については、製品版とかなり違いを感じられるような、武器種になっています。それらを中心に調整内容をご紹介できればと思います。
Yeah, the Insect Glaive is one of several weapons, such as the Lance, the Switch Axe, and the
There's a lot
Sword
of
and Shield,
the
which I think
nouveau
players
screaming
will,
in chat.
if you've played the OBT version and then you play the full game, you're going to notice maybe the biggest differences and feel like we've made the most adjustments to those weapons in particular, although we have made adjustments to all the weapons. So I'd like to take the chance to go through a few of those details with you.
はい、総中根については、まずは動画を見ていただければと思い
I like
ま
how
す。
Juno is just sitting there like,
So if we
smiling,
can
smiling.
run the video we prepared of the Insect Glaive, let's take a look at that first.
Hey, Insect Glaive. Whoop. Whoop. I'm glad that this got brought back. Yeah, Jono just sitting there smiling and looking very happy. Oh wait, that can offset?
はい、このようにまず武闘跳躍が、追加されております。
They added
That's right,
offset
Vaulting
to
Dance is
IG.
back.
総中根についてはゲームズコンや TGS の使用の段階で、特にこの総中根使いの方々から、アイデンティティとも言えるような、武闘跳躍を、ないことについてですね、非常に残念がある声というのをたくさんいただいてましたので、OBT では間に合わなかったんですけども、製品版の方では、武闘跳躍追加しております。
So this is something I was actually aware of even before the.
It's weird that
feedback
you didn't
from the
have
open
one.
beta
That's what I
test,
felt too.
Back at our Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show,
To my knowledge,
exhibitions
Dual
of,
Blades and IG do not have
gameplay.
an offset.
We had our, Insect Glaive users, our Bug Rod.
Dual Blade,
mains,
but you have the adept dodge
complaining
kind
that
of dodge
the
instead.
vaulting dance was
which
missing, and it's
I
one of
guess
the iconic
counts, but you
moves
cannot do a
that particular
topple
weapon.
on a
So
monster.
yeah, I'm happy to confirm that Vaulting Dance makes its return in the full version of Monster Hunter Wilds.
Area attack power increases by 2 levels
そう
each
です
time
ね、
you vault.
吸収切りの出始めのところに、相殺効果がついていたりだとか、エキスを取った時の、
Orange extract
効果などが
effect,
OBT から、
extended.
追加で対応を行っていまして、これ
Now
ら
you
に
also
よって
mitigate
立ち回りの幅
wind
がす
pressure,
ごく広
tremors,
がって
and
いま
rolls,
す
and you have triple up. Yeah, that's
As you can
quite
see
standard.
on the slide, we've got a few other adjustments being made. One of them
We
is
need to know whether it's like
the
low grade wind
descending
pressure
slash
or
now
all
has
wind pressure.
offset effect added at the beginning.
In the
of that
past, it
move.
used to be just low
And we
grade
also
wind
have
pressure,
additional
rolls, and
effects
tremors.
happening with the different
Not
extracts
so much about,
that you
like,
have
all of
during
them.
the course of the action. So
Okay,
those are
mitigate.
gonna improve
Mitigate
the
means-
feel of the Insect Glaive too.
Should be partial for low grade only.
はい、ですその吸収切りのための部分の、操作っていうのが、押しづらいというご意見も、すごく多くいただいておりました。
One thing I wanted to cover additionally was that some players said that the controls for charging up the descending thrust were a little bit too difficult, or they
Oh.
felt tricky to operate in the heat of the hunt.
僕自身も押しづらいなと感じる部分もありましたの
I'm going
で、
to assume there was
何か
a
できないか
keyboard
検討や相談っていうのを
weirdness.
進めていたんですけれども、慣れてくると
Our
ですね
controller is fine.
このため
You
る
just
ことに
hold
よ
circle
る遊びの広がりっていうのも確かにあるなと
So
いう
as
ふう
you
にも感じ
jump,
ているこ
you
と
attack,
から
you attack with this, the
あと
X
そういう
button.
回収するコストと
You
も
just press
これ
a
も
whole
天
circle
秤
and
に
you're
かけてい
flying,
った
then you
結
let go.
果、今回はそのため操作に関しては残す
It
こと
wasn't
に、
too
しました。
complicated for controller.
I took that feedback on board, and I tried it out in the game myself, and I did somewhat agree that it could be tricky to pull that off right in the middle of
It's not
things,
intuitive, but I don't think it's
we always have to
terrible.
weigh up when we're going to make these kind of modifications to a weapon what the implications are for its playstyle as a whole. We have to balance the idea of changing that with how it might play the way it is. So after many discussions with the team, I actually decided to keep this one the way it is. I think that it
Yeah, he's
is
keeping it.
one of the trickier things to pull off, but it's
It is.
sort of
Hi,
a bit of
Winter.
a rewarding bit of depth to the gameplay of the Insect Glaive. If you can get used to that and
I
learn when
was
to
bored,
use
so I
the
decided
charge,
to
you
just
can really
react and
deepen your
watch
play
this live
style.
stream thing
So
together.
that's something that we're not adjusting this time, although we did hear your voices on
Hope
that.
you're well.
ですね、メディアプレビューツアーに、来られた、総中根使いのライターの方はですね、触っていただいて、最高の総中根になってるじゃないかってすごく喜んで、くれましたので、ぜひ製品版の方、お待ちいただければと思います。
Yeah, there was actually one journalist who was in Osaka for our preview.
You're also watching, but I
last
think
month,
watching
and
together will be more fun.
they're an Insect Glaive main user, and
Can
they
we
said that
just
this is the
talk-
best
chit-chat a
Insect
bit?
Glaive
That's the way it
ever in
is.
Monster Hunter history. So
Hope you're enjoying.
you can take that.
I'm
on
just
board
listening
and
to
look
the
forward
changes and I'm
to
like,
the full version of the weapon
okay.
in the final version of the game.
most things I already knew
Yeah,
because
amazing. It's so great seeing
they
vaulting
announced it
dance
online,
back.
but
I know that has been
I guess
very,
it's
very
good to
highly
do an
requested
actual
from the
full video.
community. And I think there's a lot of people out there, including myself and members of the community, who
I
doubted
don't
that it was something
particularly
that could
agree
even
with
be
some of the
added back
changes,
into the
but
game. So it's so great to see it back and to see it in action.
won't majorly impact the game,
So
but
moving on
it's
from the
a small
encyclopedia,
thing.
there's other weapons we want to touch on. We mentioned in the previews
Holy
that
crap,
the
what's the
Lance would
kanji
be
for
seeing some
orange?
significant changes. So can you take us through those?
Red, white, and orange.
先に
Okay, other
プレ
changes.
ビューの段階で確かにランスも大きく
Lance
大
has
幅
been
に
changed.
調整を入れる予定になっているっていうふうに徳田さんがコメントしてたと思うんですけど、その詳細について教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい。ランスは、多様なガードと、細やかな行動を駆使していて、過去シリーズよりもモンスターに張り付いていける選択肢を増やしたかったんですけれども、
No free tree.
でそのモンスターの行動を見て待つ選択肢っていうのがなくなった結果、かえって行動の選択肢が狭まって、同じ行動を繰
Okay,
り
charge
返してしま
counter
う
now
よ
allows
うな
guarding
ちょっと
while
単純なプレ
charging
ー
and can
に
be
つながってし
chained
まう部
into
分っていう
from
のが
any
あり
other
ました。
move. Power guard will now charge to higher levels
Yeah,
more
the Lance
quickly
was
when used
something
accessory
where
defense.
the effects of
Okay.
the adjustments we made were somewhat on the
Perfect guard
unintentional
and
side.
power guard
so
cannot be chained into
I
a new
wanted to
move.
add a
New
variety
move.
of different options for guarding and more fine footwork movement options. And the idea was to increase the tool set of things
You
that
know, you
players
people
have
away from
available when
monsters
they're
here
using the
anymore.
Lance.
I know,
I
right?
think that the
I would totally
unintentional
just like
effect of that
Wyvern
was
fire
that
people and like F off.
players weren't able
Off
to do
F off.
the classic Lance move of being able to wait it out and see what the monster is going to do next and then respond to that in kind. And I think that we ultimately ended up, unfortunately, narrowing the options available, and some players even went
This
so
guy,
far as to
congrats
say
to all
that
5 of you guys.
the Lance action felt monotonous because ultimately, with the tools available, they still ended up repeating the
Don't
same
mess with
actions
us
over and
less,
over
there's 5
again.
of us. Bring back
で
Dragon
大
Eater,
きな
bring back
変更
Dragon
点とし
Eater.
ましては、過去作のカウンター好きを、ガード中のためカウンターとして、復活させました。
So, in response to that, one thing that I've done is take the counter thrust move, which was a move that was available in past games with the Lance. I sort of resurrected that in a new form as what we're now calling the charge counter. And that's something that you can use while guarding as well.
Okay.
これによってカウンターで待つ、選択肢を作りつつ、さらに大きなモンスターの攻撃に対しては、
Sounds good, sounds
ガード
good.
からパワーガードの方に派生していって、受けた攻撃によってため段階が変わる、新アクシ
Generally,
ョン
I
という
think
のも
the lane changes are
足していって
good.
ますので、そうしたものも含めた
But
反
the
撃の
one
選択肢というのを
change
取
that
れるよう
I'm
に、して
curious
いま
about
す
is。whether you can get knocked.
So the addition of this move, as
Whether they
well
will want
as,
to change
the other
the
adjustments that
wounding-
we've
the
made,
wound
some of
breaker.
which you can see here, which includes a new move that can be chained.
Because
into
Woundbreaker
from
tends to
both
typically,
Perfect
after you
Guard and
trigger,
Power
you just
Guard.
tend to run.
Means that I think Lance players
Past
will
the monster
appreciate
and
the
not hit it
ability
instead.
to read the monster's movements, and you can choose your counter attack style, and you
Right,
can
let's see the
even do
changes.
a power guard that will now charge even more quickly or to higher levels if you successfully defend against
Jono is
more
just sitting
powerful
there doing
monster
like.
attacks. So that sort of wait, lead, and counter style of the Lance,
I love the guy,
I think
but he
is
just
going to be
has not spoken
much
a lot
better than you might
in
have
a while.
experienced in the open beta.
その他混
It's
乱
quite
だったり
funny.
暴発が起こりやすいような派生をなくしたりだとか、連携中に派生するガードダッシュのキャンセルのタイミングを早くするなど、過去作でできたことっていうのは、なるべくフォローしながらやれることの幅っていうのを広げる調整をしています。僕はもちろん
And you see there the very
藤岡
pleasant
さんも、
face.
結構、
Joe is doing a more
実況
neutral,
さんを見ましてかなり
like
感触
resting
良く
bitch
なって
face,
きてい
but
ます。
Jono is like
There's also
doing
another,
the frontline friendly
variety
counter
of
face,
adjustments that we've
like
made
that service
to the
star
Lance
face.
in
It's
conjunction
quite
with
funny.
Mr. Fujioka, the executive director.
Joe
of
with the
Lance,
meaning
who
boo
you guys know is a
inside.
Lance main, so he takes the Lance very seriously. And I work together with him on these. So I wanted to expand the range.
Oh, yeah,
of
so
what we
you
can
have to
do.
go down with the hunting horn
based
guy, and then
on,
the
past
art director,
titles.
that guy is the.
That has
the
included
lens
actually removing
Right.
some.
I remember
moves
the
that we
hunting horn
tended
and
to
lens. I
chain
forgot
into
who is
only
who.
on accident, and it would kind of cause confusion and mess up your combos. So I've sort of refined the moveset a little bit in those ways, while at the same time speeding up the cancellation timing of guard dashes that are chained into during combos. So I think that these changes, if you trust me and Mr. Fujioka, are going to make the lads feel better than ever.
Fujioka-san.
はい、動画の方もお持ちしたので、ご覧ください。
I've got a video for this too, so if we can run that, then you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I like that mini adjustment.
And there we have it. Lance getting straight to the point, as always.
I like that.
So
I
for
like that.
our Lance mains out there, that has put a smile on your face. And for those of you that have never
like
tried
that.
the weapon before, hopefully that's, sparked a bit of interest for you to go check
So
out.
they're
on
bringing back
February.
the
But now
gut
to
style,
move on
which
from the
is
Lance, let's talk about
fine.
the Switch Axe, which
It's always been that
apparently
way.
has been made much stronger than it was in the open beta
Ew,
test.
they're making Switch Axe
Can you tell
stronger.
us a bit more about that, please?
I need to listen to this because
次
Switch
に
Axe
ラン
means.
ツから移してスラッシュアクスの
スラッシュアクス
OBT の時から大きく変わってると聞いてるんですけど、詳細お願いします。
はい、スラッシュアックに関しては、そのオノモードでゲージを貯めて、
Between
剣モ
someone
ードで
after building
放
the
置していくような
X
基
gauge feels more
本的なサイクル
satisfying.
自体は、変えていませんが、オノモードでの
Parameter
跳ねにくさ
improvement
み
the
たい
various
なもの
movement.
は、多少緩和
Full
し
release?
つつ、
Why would they
剣
need
モ
to
ー
adjust
ド
full
での攻
release?
撃を、
It's
ゲ
quick
ー
release
ジ
that
に見
needs
合ったような
adjustment.
威力とか手応えに
And
調
not
整
bad
を
is
行ってい
negated when
ます。
release. Oh my god.
And yeah, so with the Switch Axe, of course, the basic loop of charging up the axe mode and then releasing in the
You want
sword
it
mode
easier to go
is
with
the
Savage Axe
same.
move.
That's kind of what people
Wrong
expect from
weapon,
the
burning, wrong
but,
weapon. This Switch Axe is
I
not
understand
charge
some
blade.
feedback that some players
But I
find
understand
it's
charge blade
difficult
because you need to
the
get
axe
like
mode
a
charged
perfect
up,
guard or you need to
and
wound breaker or
that
something to
was
get
something that I
it.
want to alleviate, so
think.
that difficulty has been
It's quite
adjusted.
difficult.
At the same time, the sword mode has been adjusted to be this feeling more powerful and more responsive to match that gauge consumption.
Okay, that's true.
特に
Foul
フル
consumption
リリ
was
ー
a
ススラ
bit
ッシ
higher
ュ
than
は、
other
手
games
応えも威力も、
for Switch Axe.
最終発生型に見合った性能に、向上させています。
One move in particular that should be feeling a lot better now is the full release slash. It's been improved both in terms of its power output and its feeling, and it just feels like a much more appropriate finisher move in terms of how great it feels to pull off.
Okay, that's good to hear. I'm looking forward to
ま
that.
た、カウンター切りの使い勝手を
カウンター
上げた
切り
りだとか
カウンタースラッシュ
集中弱点攻撃の後付けを短くするなど、使いづらかったコードを少しずつ調整していって、全体的なそういうさというのを向上させています。
There were also some moves that the feedback from the player base was that they were a little bit too difficult to use. So, using the counter rising slash in sword mode
Okay.
is something that's been made more usable, and I've also looked to shorten the animation lock period after using a focus strike with this weapon. So
Shorten
hopefully those
animation
things
lock,
make it
okay.
feel more usable.
はい、こちらも動画をご覧ください。
Sorry, Burning. I
video for this
muted the
one
word
too, so let's take a look.
SWAX. Because I kind of don't like that abbreviation. But I can see what you type. Wait, what? That's so weird. Oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Oh, that's the changes. You get more explosions now.
Yeah,
I don't
the
mind.
changes to Switch Axe are looking really great. As somebody who really likes the new moveset
No,
in
no,
Monster
no.
Hunter Wilds,
Actually, I'm also allowing it.
these
My
tweaks
auto
just
mod is
make it-
constantly
just take
blocking
to
it
the
because
next
I
level,
blocked
so I'm
it.
really excited about that, and maybe I'll switch to the Switch Axe.
I click on allow it, it's still auto blocking.
Well, next up we've got Sword
But
and Shield.
I read
Jono.
the thing.
I know this is
I see
very
it.
near and dear to your heart as your main.
You change the spelling to,
put
like,
this on.
Switch
Can
X
you
or
take us
something,
through
it will
all
get
the-
through.
The tweaks here.
はい、次にご存知のようにジョノが
Yeah,
メインに
Jono's
使ってい
actually
る
speaking a
武器で
little
もあ
bit
る
now.
片手剣ですけど、こちらの調整についてはいかがでしょうか。
But yeah, what Burning says, I
はい、
didn't really.
まず
really
ですね、
like the changes they made in
過
Switch
去
X because you didn't learn any of the
は
new
違うん
stuff.
ですけれども、
I like the changes because it
ですね、
encourages you to swap
復活
between
させま
Sword
した
X, Sword X, Sword X, Sword X.
Yeah, so for the Sword and Shield, one
Rise also
thing
did that, but
we
fucked it
heard
up by
your
giving
voice
us
very
counter
clearly on was
charger,
that
and
loss of the
Switch
ability
charger.
to use Rising Slash
Which
while
means
guarding
fuck the X mode,
was
you don't need
being
it because you're just going to
majorly
get your
felt, so
gauge
that's
back.
back, and now you can now perform that move while guarding again.
Oh wait, so
ま
she
た
what?
通常攻
Rising
撃だった
slash
り、
and use while
ジャ
guarding,
ストラッシュとい
parameter
った
improvements to
各
various
種攻撃の
attack,
威力を
perfect rush.
上げていったりだと
Responsiveness of
か、
the mobile chop and sight
各
slash
種コード
combo,
のレスポ
gut
ンスの
slash
方も
perfect rush.
向上させて、さらに
Improve
バックステップの滑り込み気味の
evasion effectiveness of
回避性能を強化する
I don't know
な
what
ど、全
sliding
体的
sword
な
is.
この威力とレスポンス手触りを向上
I'm not
させて
knowledgeable
い
enough
ま
about
す
Sword and Shield to comment on this.
There's also various improvements, as you can see on the next couple of points here, being made to the weapon's sort of feel and also attack output. So normal attacks and the perfect rush have had their parameters improved. The responsiveness of your sort of more bread and butter mobile combos like the chop and side slash combo have been improved, and same goes for guard slash and perfect rush. And then finally the backstep and the sliding swipe have had their effectiveness when it comes to evasion improved as well. So lots of changes all across the board for Sword and
Listen,
Shield.
noobs, here's your best noob weapon.
こちらも動画をご覧ください。
Okay,
Yep,
video.
you guessed it. Another video for this weapon. So let's
We
run
need
it and see
all
how
of
it
these
looks.
amazing blah blah blah. You feel like Sword and Shield felt weaker with some of the end combos being changed. It's a bit different now. While playing it, I felt that it creates wounds very easily. But the actual fighting stuff, yeah, it doesn't feel that like it changed a lot or became that much stronger. Oh, okay, it looks like it's faster and hits a bit harder now. Okay, the perfect rush timing got changed back to normal, to almost the same as before. It's the timing changed in
my
the
goodness.
beta.
To my
So it's a
fellow
bit
Sword
weird
and
for a
Shield
lot of
enjoyers,
players.
we are truly eating good in Wilds.
You have to rely on the
Those
SA
changes
combo
look
was used more.
delicious. What can I
Yeah,
say?
because that
And
thing
for those
creates
that haven't
wounds
tried
quite
Sword and
easily,
Shield yet,
from what I
here's a
felt.
really good excuse to give it a go. But enough of me gushing about the Sword and Shield because I could do that for the next hour. There are
For the
other
next
weapons
hour.
too that have had some adjustments. Maybe not as extensive as the four we've shown so far, but many have received tweaks. So, Tokuda-san, could you please take us through these at a broader level?
こちらの4つの武器ほど、大規模な変更ではないかもしれないんですけれども、全体的な武器の調整について教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい、先ほどの4つの武器も含めてに
Okay,
なるんです
go
が、
rebalancing
ま
ball,
ずその
increase attack
属
power,
性値だったり
continue
と
shot, la la la
か、
la.
スキルの効果を
Targeting
踏ま
focus
え
drive
た
multiple wounds
エン
unlock
ド
one
環境
by
を見
one
越し
with
た
brief
数値
delay
調整
rather
とい
than
うの
all at
を、
once.
全部機種
Good
広く、行っています。その過程で、意図したバランスになって
General
い
wide
ないもの
ranging
だったり
adjustment
と
is
か、
still
意
at
図しない
value,
武器
la la
格差みたい
la
な
la.
ものが、生まれていた部分については
Heat
調整を
injection
予
low
定
damage
してい
output
ます。
compared to past titles. Okay.
Yeah, as you said, all the weapons are receiving general wide-ranging adjustments to everything from their skills, their elemental values.
Oh, wait, they're toning
I
down the
don't
power of
want it
tracer
to
shots
be
for bow.
unintentional
F.
weapon tiering happening.
That was
I
the
want
fun
to
thing.
balance the weapon lineup so that everything is
The only thing I
about
enjoy about
price
bow is you
and
play the
everything's
tracer, then you
about
drag a
choice,
piercer, and you see the
not just
arrow just
for
curve.
playing the full game when it comes out, but
If you place the
going through
tracers
the
properly, you
completing
can curve
game
it
and
through
then
the body
moving on
and
to the end
actually
game content.
get
I
a
know
lot
that
of good
these balance
piercers.
adjustments need to stand up for many hours of gameplay
And
from
get
you
it to
guys,
pierce through a
and
nice
that's the
area.
intention with this overall balancing approach I have.
基本的には、各武器種が持つコンセプトとか触り心地が実現できているかっていうのを重要視した調整を行っていまし
その
て、
方が
強いものを下げるというよりはどちらかというと低いものを上げていきながら、
武器 something, I can't remember how to
武器
read
主
that
間の
kanji.
格差もできるだけなくしていくような、方向性で、調整しています。
Oh my god, it's too much kanji. If not,
My
we'll try to
general
read the
concept
Japanese.
is that I want each weapon to feel true to its own unique concept because each of them has a place in the
You want
lineup
the
of
weapons to
14
be
weapons.
true and to their own
In
unique
order to
concept,
do
and then
that,
you
I don't
freaking
wanna
remove the charge
lower
shots from
the
bow.
high values to make everything meet in the middle. I
Freaking
actually want to raise
contradictory.
up the lower values to make the
Hypocrite.
weapons that we're feeling less powerful.
I'm not
feel more
particularly happy
viable and
with
going
what he
toe-to-toe
did. He
with,
did to bow
the
and
other
bow.
weapons in the lineup. So that's kind of my
And
my
now,
approach.
wow.
はい、
Right 60 and then they went to
主だった例として
completely
弓
revert
を
it
挙げ
into the
ます
fucked up
けれど
version
も
again.、
弓はシルベの矢と、刺してそこに対して矢が飛んでいく、機能なんですけど、それと集中弱点攻撃の方にダメージのソースが、かなり偏っていたんですけれど
But I am
も、
hoping that Charge Blade does not
通常攻
revert
撃
back to
だったりだとか局射
being able to
の
SAED
威力
from
を上げ
nothing.
つつ、それらにその
I like that you have to
素早い
AED
つながり
first
だ
to
ったり
SAED.
レスポンスとかを向上さ
Or
せ
do
て、
something
その
like,
他の行動でもしっかりダメージを取れるよう
gut point
な、
into SAED.
調整を行っています。
It prevents pure spamming.
As on the slide here, the bow is a good example of this kind of general.
Then you want to spam, you need to do one
adjustment.
one
I think that
AED
in
to
the,
wind up
version
longer
that
before you
guys
can
would
do
have
a
played in the
technique.
beta. The damage output
It
was
makes you do
getting
more
pretty biased towards using the
what's it
tracer
called?
shots
more
combined
pre-commitment
with the focus strike
animation.
attacks. And this is something that I wanted to adjust. So again, as I said, rather than bringing those down, what I've done is bring up the normal shots and the arc shot power, make those attacks more viable, and at the same time, general responsiveness has been improved across the board for the bow, including transitions and chaining between different attacks.
Oh, my neck.
So that makes it feel like a more cohesive, true to the bow concept type weapon.
また集中弱点攻撃で、複数の傷だったりシルベの矢をまとめてロックオンして破壊することができたんですけども、傷については一つ一つロックオンする形に変更を行っています。
One more thing to mention is that as of the beta, the focus strike targeting capability was
Bring back
locking onto
Polygon
multiple
Monster.
wounds more or less simultaneously at the same
Bogami.
time.
Yeah.
I've rebalanced
I
this
think it's
now so
gone.
that whenever
Now you do it, you just
try to lock on
do the
to
guts
multiple
instead.
wounds, they'll lock on one at a time
Okay.
with a brief delay in between each one. So that's another balance adjustment that's been made here.
はい、弓についても動画を用意しましたので、ご覧ください。
And you can see that and more in this video. Let's run it.
Oh, that is actually quite a long delay between each point. Okay.
このようにですね、単なる下方修正にならないように、
Wow.
武器の魅力だったり、ユーザーの選択肢の幅が広がるようにことを意識しなが
Wow,
ら、
that's
全
actually
て
quite a
の
long,
武器の
long
調整
delay
を行
now.
っています。
Yeah, hopefully when you watch that, you get a sense
heard
of what
that
I
touch
meant,
sound.
which was I don't want to just
Yeah.
bring the
It's quite
powerful
nice.
aspects of weapons or the more powerful
I
weapons
like that
down
sound
to the
effect.
same level. I want to make adjustments
little
to
bit
each
more
weapon
immersion.
to make
To making the
every
weapon
single
feel
weapon
good.
feel like a viable choice in the lineup of weapons in Monster Hunter, and the players have lots to choose from, and everything has its place.
Literally from the older games. I mean,
Yeah, I really love that philosophy behind all the balancing changes and the improvements. And I know one weapon that I think we would be remiss if we didn't bring up, and a lot of people are really passionate about, is the hunting
I like
horn.
the
Can you talk about some
bow
of the
pulling
changes that
sound
the
as well.
hunting horn is
It's
receiving?
nice. Hi Senpai, it's been a while.
特に多くのユーザーか
Hope
ら
you're
フィ
been
ード
well.
バックがあった武器だと思うんですけど、こちらの最終的な仕様変更などはいかがでしょうか？
そうですね、シュルーブへの基本的な、メカニクスというか、そういうものについては、ユーザーさんも僕も含めて、結構気に入って、
Just
います。
watching the live stream
なんで
right
すけれど
now,
も、
listening to the changes and everything.
サブ武器として
I don't normally
の
live stream
性
these
能という
things,
のがちょっと、強すぎる面がありま
I was
し
a
た
bit
の
bored
で、
today,
その
so I
あたり
thought I
は手
would
を加え
stream
よう
it.
と思っています。
Hunting Horn is a weapon that I myself really enjoy playing, and I think we've heard from lots of players that they find it really fun.
Please
It's a
remove
very
blood
viable main
values.
weapon.
Yep,
So
I agree.
actually, the adjustments
Or at
I
least
want
let
to
us
make for
swap
Monster Hunter
between
Wilds
blood
based on the beta
and
were about
raw.
how it felt a bit too strong as a sub weapon.
OBT
ハンティング
では
ハン
ですね
a bit too strong as a sub weapon.
攻撃力アップ、小の戦率効果までしかなかったので、
攻撃アップ
そこまで問題にならなかったんですけれども、製品版の方では攻撃力アップ大の戦率効果があったりだとか、あとそれらの効果の時間を長くするスキルなどもありましたので、サブ武器としてかなりちょっと
Where's
強
the
い
new
面
trailer? Give us
が
a new
ありました
trailer.。
It wasn't too bad in the OBT because being a limited slice of the gameplay, the melodies that were available for the Hunting Horn only actually went up to Attack Up S. But when you take that into the full game and you're going all the way up to Attack Up L, it just meant that the melody effects were too overpowered and it just became too much of an obvious meta choice to have the Hunting Horn as a backup weapon because of how powerful the parameters were whenever you were buffing not just yourself but your whole party.
でですね、自分強化の戦率効果のパラメーターというのを速度のアップも含めて底上げしつつ、他の、プレイヤーへの、戦率効果のパラメーターだったりだとか、狩猟笛から他の武器種に変更したときにその、効果時間延長のスキルの効果がなくなるなどの調整を行っていって、サポート武器としての価値は残しつつもバランスを整えるような形にしています。
So yeah, with a view to rebalancing that, what I've actually done is the melody effects when you strengthen yourself, when you buff yourself, have actually been increased, been made more powerful. But conversely, the effect on others has been decreased to rebalance its focus.
Effects only
The other
affect
thing that
yourself and not
has
others.
changed is that when you change back from the Hunting Horn to the other weapon that you have with you, that's the amount of time that the melody effect was being applied for an extended amount of time. That skill has been adjusted so that when you change back to your other weapon, it's not going to hang around for as long whenever you've got
Okay.
the buff applied to other players. So
I think that's fine.
I think that those balances still make it a valuable choice as a support weapon, but it just makes it less OP, to use the community phrase.
Yeah, hopefully that's music to the ears of our duders out there, you know, putting respect on the weapon for those that main it and are proud of the tunes they bring to the hunt. And kind of moving on from that a little bit and moving away from weapons. Well, actually, I say that we're moving further into weapons here. We've got some juicy details to go into. Earlier on in the stream, you mentioned to Gudu-san in the final version that balance will be adjusted to take into the account the existence of skills that were not included in the open beta test. So that does mean that in Monster Hunter Wilds, the skill building system has changed a lot from what we know, right?
先ほど
Skill building
OBT に入ってなかったよう
system
なスキルの
definitely
存在なども考慮して製
No
品
more-
版
more
の
support
全
hunters.
コンテンツを通してバランス
To be fair, the term
を
support hunter is really
検
dumb.
討されているとのことでしたが
People like to stereotype it as either hunting horn main
自体
with
は
white
大き
range
く変わ
or
ってい
sword
る
and
と
shield
思うん
main
で
with
すけ
white
ど
range.
そちらについてちょっと
It's basically just white range that
説
makes
明
you a
しても
support
らえまし
hunter.
たでしょうか
You just be like, oh,
は
potion.
い、
more potions.
を受けた
Even more
挑戦内容
potions.
とちょっと話が、変わりますけれども、インタビューなど以外ではちょっとこれまできちん
Yeah,
と
remember now there's
説
like
明できていな
equipment
かった部
skills
分
over
もあり
here
ますの
that
で
speed
ご紹
sharpening.
介させていただきます。
Yeah, this is something that isn't strictly speaking a OBT feedback response, but it's something that I think I've mentioned a few times in interviews that have gone out with the previews, but I want to take the chance on today's stream just to kind of really make it clear exactly what the implications of this new system are. So let's take a look at an example with this screenshot.
今まではその防具のパーツに装備のスキルが、ついていましたけれども、特定の武器種にしか効果がないようなタイプのスキルが入っていると、その防具に合う武器種を選ぶしかなくなってしまったりだとか、キー合わせがしにくくなってしまうみたいなことが、発生している部分があり
People
ま
are
した。
arguing about bloated attack
So on
values and raw
previous
attack
titles,
values now.
the place where you put equipment skills has always been the armor rather than the weapon, right? So that meant if you needed to equip skills that were sort of specific to a certain weapon or category of weapons, there was sort of an inevitability about certain skills and certain armor gear being the kind of only viable choice whenever you were going to go out with that particular weapon equipped, and that kind of limited, I think, the players' freedom to choose what exactly it was they wanted to wear.
今作ではメイン武器とサブ武器を切り替えられるように、なっていますので、これまでの仕組み、スキルの仕組みですと武器を切り替えた時に、せっかくのスキルビルドが無駄になってしまう場面が、出てきます。なので
Hellfire Glamour, excuse me,
とか
that's not a
ガード性能のよう
monster.
な、武器に紐づくようなスキルは武器側に、つく形にして、
But yeah,
例えば
so you can see over here, guys, we are getting
補
bloated
助的
attack
なスキルに
value.
ついては防具側につけるような形に、
To
変更してお
480
りま
attack
す
on Great Sword.
The other implication of the fact that in Monster Hunter Wilds you can bring a main weapon and a sub weapon was that your carefully chosen skill build on your armor would be completely wasted and be for naught whenever you change weapon. Suddenly, all of those skills that you'd equipped on the armor might not be relevant depending on what the second weapon was. So the system now has changed so that skills that are mostly tied to weapon functions, such as attack boost and guard, are now attached to the weapons themselves directly.
Bring
And
back
then
medium
other more
bowgun,
supplementary skills such
Daijobu.
as speed eating are still attached to armor, and by separating out where the skills go, it means that your skill build will actually make a lot more sense
We
even
need
as
book
you change
sliders.
weapons throughout the hunt.
Yeah, so this is a pretty significant change to how players are going to be able to build their sets, and hopefully it'll result in lots of variety in terms of the different weapons people use and different armor sets. But one question I had is, well, what happens when weapons are upgraded? Do these skills disappear, or what happens with them?
このシステムになって例えば武
Yeah,
器
something we
を
wonder how do you
強化して派生で
Yeah.
新しい武器にしたとき
I wasn't
に
fully paying attention to the
自
equipment
分
thing, but
その入ってたスキルがなくなったりすることはあるのでしょうか
はい、ここちょっと分かりにくいところなのですごくいい質問なんですけども、
like there'll be some skills on the
派生
weapon,
の
but I
強化
don't
でスキルが消えることということは、ありま
know
せん。
if. Yeah, they're talking about
Yeah,
whether
that's a
it
great
transfers.
question and maybe a concern people might have had if it wasn't super clear how the system works. So it's a good chance to be very clear about it. Skills will never disappear from a weapon whenever you upgrade it within the same weapon tree.
Within the same
今
weapon
こう
tree.
画面に映っているのが、ホープブレード2で、砥石高速化のスキルが、ついているかと思います。
So as you can see here on this screenshot, the Hope Blade 2 in the equipment info panel, you can see that it's got the speed sharpening equipment skill on it.
これを強化、したスライドに変えていただきますと、
When you upgrade that, it changes to a different weapon, and I think we have a second screenshot prepared, which we can switch to now.
ホープブレード3に強化した形になると、砥石高速化はのスキルはついたまま、見切りの、スキルが新たに追加されています。
as you can see with this
Crit
screenshot
eye
of
and
the
speed
Hulk Blade
sharpening. Okay,
3,
so you do not lose the speed
equipment
sharpening.
skill speed sharpening
You
has
just
been
gain
retained,
another
and we've
crit
got
eye
an
point.
additional skill called Critical Eye, which has
Okay,
been
interesting.
included with the upgraded weapon.
ですの
I
で、
can
そ
see
の、
where this
ス
is
キル自体は
going.
なくならずに、別のものがついたり強化
Then
さ
I
れ
have
た
a
りしてい
feeling
き
that
な
at
が
the
ら、
end game final
武器
upgrade
派
you
生
get
を、
like maybe like one
強
or
化し
two
ていくことができます。
empty slots that you can
So as you
slot
can see, the
in
skills didn't
custom
reduce,
skills into.
and
That's my
some can be
suspicion.
added, and also
like
the
maybe
level
like
of
that goes
existing
into your
skills might
weapon.
be increased the
The
more you
equivalent of that
upgrade the
goes.
weapon within the tree.
また
For now this seems
後半の
alright, but I
派生の武器
not
になる
sure
と
if
です
it's
ね、武器の方にもスロットが空いていて、そこに
It
こう
doesn't
装飾
feel
品を入れることによって、
like it's
自分
problematic
好み
yet.
のこうスキルビルドを楽しむことも、可能になります。
Also, in addition to these built-in equipment skills that are baked into each level of the weapon, there are, of course, decoration slots. So the further you go down the weapon tree, the more decoration slots will open up on the weapon at the higher levels, and that's going to let you create your own skill build to your own liking and combine the pre-built ones with the ones you add later using decorations.
I think that is really, really exciting. I mean, having the
Nameless
skill
King.
set this way means that, you know, as we mentioned earlier, that there's going to be far less instances of there being a particular weapon that is the best for, you know, multiple situations. And when you're
Okay, what I'm thinking is that, you know, you have a weapon that's very nice raw and sharpness and like
contribute
crit,
to that, and also
but the
you know,
skills
you
on
can
it won't be
switch
so
between
good.
your weapons
Maybe.
without it, you know.
Then you have a weapon
neutering
that's not
your
as ideal,
armor
but it
set
has
that you've
better
kind of been
skills.
meticulously building.
So
I'm
I'm hoping we get
what the
some
community
balancing
discover, and
adjustment
two, like,
based on
how they
that,
use
but
it, and you know, I can't wait
you-
to see
you-
what the different
we can't
sword
tell
and
for
shield have as well. So that's really, really cool. And now, you know, let's move on a bit.
but
Let's
chances
have a
are there will
chat
always be at
about
least
a
one
few
or two
other
weapons
things
that will be
we've
just
seen in the
super good.
beta and things like
High
that. And there's
damage,
one
high
thing that
stats, high
kind of really
everything,
stood
good
out to
skill.
Joe and I, and for anyone in the community who frequents the different Monster Hunter subreddits that are out there, and one of them was the most beautiful collage. It was a collage of many hunters using shielded weapons, pulling the biggest frowns as they guarded against the wrath of monsters, kind of like a kind of face. Now,
Oh my
you
god.
know, what's the situation with that? What's going on there, Takuda-san?
今どのまで変顔してると思うんですけ
ね
ど、最後の質問タイムに入らせていただきます。多くのプレイヤーが気
It
づいた
reminds you of when they went for Blaze
仕様
Weapon for
とし
Rise
て
when they
は
went from bad to good because they all
肩
got
を構えた
viable.
時に、
Yeah, I actually like that
ハンターが
system, burning.
変顔
I like it
が
in
だったんです
Rise.
けど
I hope something like that
こちらは
returns.
意図的な仕様なのか、修正されるものなのか教えてください。
はい、変顔にしたかったわけじゃなくて、武器を構えた時にその気張ったような顔に、したかったんですけど、まさかちょっとあそこまで気張った顔になってるとはちょっと想定外なところがありましたので、直します。
Yeah, thank you for your very demonstrative version of it.
Demonstrative.
My intention was to show that when someone grabs tight onto a shield
Grab
to
tight on
guard
the
an
shield,
attack,
you'll be
that
like-
they would sort of be, you know,
More fun.
menacing or have an intensity to the expression. But the way it turned out wasn't really what I wanted it to be. So but we're going to change that in the final game and have it look a little bit less weird and a little bit more cool and intense.
Well, I'm a little bit sad that it's being changed because it was extremely funny. Totally understand that, you know, we want our hunters to be immersed in the world, and that's one of those things that might take you right out of it. So
It's true, by the way. The faces really look quite dumb
about
here.
multiplayer. We
They're
did
all
hear
like,
some feedback from
you know,
players that they were a little bit
slightly
confused on the
ugly
different
kind of
ways to get into
face.
multiplayer, and just you know, just weren't quite sure how to play with their friends easily. So
This actually makes me
touch
happy. I
just a
like
little
it.
bit on multiplayer and
Yeah, the shield
matching
face
up
was
with friends
quite
and how that's going to
hilarious.
work in the full game.
It's not very obvious either.
変顔がなくなること自体は
You should be able to find pictures of it on like Reddit and whatever.
確かにかっこいい顔にしてもらえるんだ
So
った
it's
ら
not
製品版
that
を楽しみにしますという
terrible.
ことです。
Or like it's not like
次の
totally
質
gone.
問になりますが、オープンベータで多くのプレイヤーからちょっとマルチプレイの仕様について、どういうふうにやればいいかわからない、つながり方がわからない。この仕様についてどう使ったらいいか
I shared quite a lot
ちょ
of
っと
stuff in
使いづらく感じた人もいたと思うんですけど、この辺について、製品版の仕様や、使い方のアドバイスを込みでアドバイスをお願いします。
はい、まず製品版では、ロ
Copy
ビーの
link.
ID を教え合った人
Okay, I
しか
found
入れ
the
な
thing.
い、プライベートロビーという機能だったりとか、
There you go, game.
特定のサークルの人た
Here's
ち
the
だけが
image.
集まれるサークルロビーのような、友達と会いやすい機能っていうのが追加されます。
Okay, we're talking about multiplayer.
So firstly, in the full game, there will be multiplayer features that weren't included in the open beta test, which I think will make it easier to get together with just the people you want to play with. So One of those will be private lobbies, which,
Private lobby is good.
as the name implies, they'll have a lobby ID, and only those people who you've shared the ID with can join in. We'll also see the return of squad system.
Okay, squad
And squad
system.
lobbies will be available only to your squad members, and that's going to make it so that you can, have your friends get together really easily.
Yeah, okay, it's dumb, right? When regarding the like,
OBT ではリンクパーティーや環境リンクといった機能が入っていたんですけれども、こ
it
れは
wasn't that obvious when I played
複
it,
数
but
の
my,
フィ
my
ールド
resolution
が
wasn't that good.
ある
so
状態で、
maybe-
各メンバーの環境が変化していく中で、有効に機能するようなものなので、一つのフィールドで変化の幅が少ない OBT だとちょっと分かりにくい機能に、なっていました。製品版の方では、リリース
Yeah,
後に
the angry face is really just like-
情報を、発信していく予定になります。
I think the funny part is because there's the
One of
frown
the
lines
features that
here.
were in the OBT that I think maybe didn't really, players didn't have a chance to really fully understand them, given the fact that the OBT was such a limited slice of the
You
game.
really hope they make it easier to make party.
What I'm talking
For
about
sure,
is
they
the
just said
parties
that
and also
you
in
should be
particular
able.
the
Oh, wait.
environmental link feature. These are designed for the full game, where across multiple different maps, each of which has varying weather conditions across different phases. If you imagine getting online, you and Jono and Joe want to play together with me, and we're all in different areas, and we're not synchronized at all, so choosing which monster to hunt or whatever else might be difficult. The environmental link means we can kind of settle on a
One
state
environment.
for the game to be in and have that
Yeah, but they
synchronized.
didn't mention
and
about
make our gameplay
connecting
go
to
a
make
lot
things
smoother.
easier. There's like
With the OBT,
10
we only
freaking
had
tabs
when we're playing
in
then,
the
a
beta
limited
to like
amount of
connect and
changeable
with
extreme
people.
weather
It's like
conditions and
friends, people you
a lot
played
of
with,
players
people in your
were
current
a bit
lobby,
sort of having a
people in your
question mark about
quest.
what the functionality of these features were.
I
but,
don't know what. So they're
trust
like
me, it'll make
there
a
were
lot
10
more
tabs.
sense
It was,
when
it was
the full
quite
game
crazy.
comes out, and we'll provide more details on how to use those effectively when the time comes.
No, I appreciate the details. I mean, it's really cool to hear that, you'll be able to have a lot more control over the multiplayer experience you want. So if you do want to play with just your pals, you can. If you want to play with your squad, or if you want to play with anyone in the world who's also playing, you can. So it's great to know that those options are going to be there for our community. And obviously, talking about multiplayer, Monster Hunter Wilds takes the multiplayer experience in Monster Hunter to a whole new level.
The
biggest it's
recent
ever
tab was a
been with
hindrance, correct?
100 player lobbies.
I feel like you could
camps
like
that can hold up
queue
to
about
1600s
3
at a
to
time,
4
which is
of the
fantastic. The kind of
tabs
interactions
in that game.
we're all going to be able to have
don't
and
need
that we
10.
had in the OBT. Obviously,
did-
but with
you
that,
could have
though,
hidden some
there
of
comes
them.
a lot of chatter, a lot of stickers, and if someone's being a bit cheeky, they can, spam in stickers and excitement and things like that. So for those of us that might want a slightly more relaxed public multiplayer experience around chat and stickers, what's the situation there going forward?
マルチプレイの設定面といえばですけど、多くのプレイヤーから寄せてもらっているフィードバックとしては、これだけたくさんの人数のプレイヤーが同時につながっているロビーになってしまうと、どうしてもチャットの方でメッセージやステッカ
Oh
ー
yeah, I
が
hope we
回
can
って
mute
ちょ
the
っと
people
のように
and prevent them
入
from
って
chatting.
きてしまっ
It's
て
so
落ち
noisy.
着けないようなロ
They
ビ
keep
ー
saying
にな
hi, 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 hi,
って
hi.
しまっているというフィードバックが多かったんですけど、こちらについて何か対策を考えられたりしましたでしょうか。
はい、まず製品版の方では、特定の人の、発言を、自分の画面でミュートに、指定することが、できます。
Oh yeah, firstly in the full game, if one particular person is blowing up in the lobby chat, you'll be able to mute them. So that's a very targeted feature to be able to
Very
make
good.
use of.
But we need to build
ま
more
た
than
です
just
ね、
one. I just
ク
want
エ
to
ス
block
ト
everybody.
だったり、リン
That's
クパーティーを組んだときには、チャットチャンネルが自動で切り替わって、ロビーメンバーのチャット通知がされなくなるなど、いくつか対策を、入れていっています。
Also, we're going to adjust how the chat channels work whenever you do something like start a quest or a link party. What's going to happen is that the chat will automatically switch over to just the participants of that quest or that party.
Okay, that's
And
good.
you'll stop being notified of the general lobby chat.
That's good.
And I think that will improve the feeling
I
of whenever you
wanted
start
that to
something
begin
with
with.
just your
Yes, very
friends
good.
or other players, that it limits the range of who you're going to hear stuff from.
On it, yeah. The sticker spam in particular was something that I got a few messages about,
Sticker spam,
and I
yeah.
watched a few streams during the open beta, and that was definitely something that people would have liked to adjust. So it's great to hear that's happening. Something that I was really pleasantly surprised by when booting up the open beta were all the options for the different HUD display, to have it bigger, to adjust it whether you're sitting at a TV or you're sitting at a desk. But even with that, I think there are additional areas where that could be improved. So what are our plans in the full game to adjust the HUD even further?
ハードの表示についてですけど、OBT 段階でもすでに テレビ向けの大
You
き
guess
さや
your
デスク
experience with
向
what
けの大きさ
beta
の設定があったりして、かなり細かく入ってたと思うんですけど、
with
さら
nothing
に
or none of the
製
issues that's
品
been
版に向
mentioned?
けて肌の表示のオプションを追加しようと思ってるのでしょうか。
そうですね。まず、オプション以前にですね、
with
そも
none
そ
of
も
the
の
issues
表示の部分で、
Oh.
武器の、固有の表
I
示
mean,
だったりだとか、一部の要素の大きさな
I
ど、
forgot what the
見やす
issues
さ
you
に
had
関
again,
わる
Bernie.
調整っていうのは、入れていって、より見やすく、しています。
Like mine was mostly
Even before we get
the
into
the
the
dumb
idea of,
menuing. There's too many
options you can
menuings.
change. I am looking at
Uh,
feedback on the size of the specific
as well as, like, the
weapon,
lobby shit,
unique
which-
UI elements that each weapon
Yes,
has.
they are
And
addressing.
we're going to review those and make sure that by the time the game comes out,
And-
that the relative sizes of all those elements is going to make
Yeah,
sense
that's
for
about it. I
everyone.
guess a bit of weapon adjustments, but it's fine.
のアップデートで、オプションなどの拡充というのも、随時検討しております。
As for additional UI options, we're considering if we can add any in future post-launch updates. So stay tuned on that.
Nice. Watch this space. Now, thank you so much for answering all these questions so far, Toguro-san. And, we are getting near the end of the pre-launch community update stream. So I have one small question. One small question that you may have seen amongst the community and one that Joe and I see everywhere. And, let's just between us, we'll keep it between us. Is there going to be another open beta test before launch?
こちらからの最後の質問になるんですけど、
Final
毎
question
日のようにコミュニティマネージャーの方の DM やインボックスにも入ってる質問なので、
DM
どうしても
inbox
聞かせてほしいんですが、ここだけの話、ぶっちゃけ OBT はまた次回遊べる機会があるのでしょうか。
My
教えてくださいと思います。
完全に領土さんとかが答えるような案件だと思うんですけども、特別にお答えすると、検討自体は、しています。ですが、もし追加の OBT を実施するとしてもですね、基本的には前回の OBT を遊べなかった方だったりだとか、その追加の、項目テストが、主な目的となりますので、今日お話したような、内容っていうのは基本的に製品版とか Day1 パッチ向けの対応になっていますので、OBT には反映されない形になります。
ない
ちょっとその点はご了承いただきたいです。
And that's the kind of question where I'm used to leaving out to Ryozo, who'd be here with us, and he can answer that kind of high-level decision.
Push over to your
But
big
since
boss.
you've asked,
Don't answer
I
the
will address
question.
that. We are considering if we will bring back the open beta test, but I would need to make clear that that would surely be essentially another chance for players who missed it the first time around to get a chance to try the game again, and we might maybe be able to add a couple of additional options here or there for people to try out. It wouldn't be something where all the various detailed weapon adjustments we've discussed today would be included. Those are strictly being worked on the basis of including them in the full game, including the day one patch. So again, it's something we haven't ruled out yet, is bringing back the open beta test, but
So currently no.
please wait for the full
But
game to come out in
they
order
are
to
open to
experience all the
considering it.
wonderful changes we've discussed today. And hopefully you can understand why we've had to separate those two considerations.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll have to stay tuned for the future for any news. We have covered so much today. I think this has been quite a long stream already. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you'd like to discuss before we?
Is it actually
wrap
live
things
or
up?
is this pre-recorded? I'm confused
今日
now.
は結構
They-
長時間に
this
かけ
is
て
a premiere, so
いろんな
premiere
詳
means
細
it's
につ
already
いて
not
教え
recorded.
て
It's
もらえ
already
たので
pre-recorded.
すごく良かったですが、
It's not a
逆
live
に
stream.
徳
Live
田さん
stream.
の方からジョノたちからの質問
But
で
they
カ
make it
バ
sound
ー
like
できてない
it's
ポイントがあれば、この
like
機
full
会
live
に
stream thing.
どうぞ教えてください。
So weird.
はい、この前のメディアプレビューツアーのイン
Yeah,
タ
I'm
ビュ
pretty sure
ー
it's,
一
it's,
つ
a,
ま
it's
言い
already
間違いをしたと
pre-recorded.
こ
Call
ろ
it
が
a
あります
premiere.
ので訂正させていただきたいです。
But maybe they
Actually,
recorded it and live
something-
streamed it
not so
somewhere
much
else.
new information, but I want to have the chance to clarify and maybe make up for a misstatement I might have made during some of the press interviews that we had about the game. So that's something I'd like to discuss now.
サポートハンターが傷を壊さないオプションがあるというふうに言ってしまったんですけど、そ
Something
れは
about the
電
AI
話には
robot
入らない形になります。
hunters.
I think in at least one interview, I said that there would be an option in the game where you could set it so that the support hunters who can join you via the SOS flare would not go and break wounds for you, they'd leave that for you. And that's something that actually won't be in the game on day one.
発売日の仕様としては、プレイヤーが傷をつけてからしばらくの間、壊さないんですけど、1分以上ある程度経つとですね、集中弱点攻撃を使用して傷を破壊することが、発生するようになります。
So the way it's going to work at launch is that if you inflict a wound, but you, for whatever reason, you're not really proactively breaking that wound with your own focus strike, and a certain amount of time passes, maybe a minute or more passes, and you still haven't gone for it, that's the point at which the support hunters will start to look to use a focus strike to break the wound for you.
That's fair, I think.
サポートハンターの、キャラクターによって壊しやすいだったり壊しにくいだったり、あと乗りやすい乗りにくいだったり、先行玉を使ってくれやすいみたいな、行動特性というのはキャラクターによって異なります。
Can we date the
That's
NPCs?
something that's
Bro.
sort of unique.
Yeah,
to
okay,
each,
that's the point. Just do all the work to
hunter's
make it just easy and
personality,
boring.
though. Each character has.
Yeah,
a
I think it's
slightly
fair
different
that if you don't
approach
do
and
anything
an
like
AI
after 1
working for
minute,
them, so
they take over for
whether
you.
or
I
not
think that's
they're
actually fair.
quicker on the draw with focus strikes or less so. It also applies to other features like how often they might try and mount a monster, whether they find mounting harder.
Yeah, actually, I think that's
whether
fine.
they're
You give them a
Busting
timer.
out things like flash pods more often or less often. Those all kind of depend on the character themselves. So it's not something that's going to happen on a strict schedule, no matter what.
どのサポートハンターに来てほしいかという指定は、発売時はできないんですけど、タイプトルアップデートでは、検討しております。
So the option that I'm looking to add, perhaps in a title update after launch, is letting players specify which
Yeah, can we get the
NPC
monsters
support
YouTube chat?
hunters
It's
can join
fun.
them and which ones they don't want to join them. So that's
Oh,
how I
you
intend
can
to
choose
add
the
ability
AIs that
to
you want.
control
Very
the
good.
frequency of that
Because in
particular
freaking
feature.
Monster Hunter Rise,
あと細かいことですけど、
Fuck J.
ディアンパッチだとお供とかサポートハン
I
タ
am
ー
very
が
loud about
サイ
it.
ンを
Fuck J.
送ると自分のところに来てくれるようになって、ちょっと便利になってます。
Relatedly, one additional feature I wanted to confirm was when you use the signal, this sort of ping that you activate through the menus, the palicos and the support hunters will come to your side during a hunt. So that's just a little quality of life feature that we've added.
Oh, that's really, really cool. And yeah, thank you for the little tidbits of information there. We really appreciate it, Tokuda-san. And with that, I think we will kind of come into the end of our pre-launch community update. So we hope you've all enjoyed it. Joe, anything you want to say before we pass over to Tokuda-san and Patrick?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody out there for sharing their feedback. I know we say a lot that we
Let's
are
get into
listening,
chat, yeah.
and hopefully you guys feel that way after seeing all the updates here. And definitely want to take the chance to thank Tokuda-san for joining us. This has been super informative, and I know
Yeah,
you're
it's
super
informative.
busy, and the team is extremely busy getting the game ready for launch. So we very much appreciate it, and I'd like to toss
not
it over to you
particularly
for
happy with
any closing.
removal of not
closing
back,
remarks
but
here.
it is what it is.
今日は非常に珍しい機会として直接いろんなお話を聞けて、徳田さんにはこの発売直前のご多忙中の時期にこれだけお時間いただいて非常に感謝しております。最後に徳田さんからユーザーへのメッセージなどあればお願いします。
はい、まずこのような直接ユーザーの皆さんに声を届ける機会を作ってくれた、ジョーとジョの、パトリック、またサポートしてくれた皆さんに、感謝、申し上げます。
Firstly, let me take the chance to thank you guys, Jono and Joe, the community managers, as well as Patrick. It's always slightly weird to refer to yourself when you're translating, but let me go with it. Thank you for your support in setting up this opportunity today.
イギリスとアメリカ、日本と、3拠点で時差も大きい中、すごく大変な作業だと思ってますが、ありがとうございました。
Yeah, we're working across 3 time zones.
People are talking about how he keeps showing the middle finger.
That is in
He keeps on
Japan.
doing this
Jono
to push out his
and Patrick
glasses
are
and
in the
stuff.
UK, and Joe is in the US, so it's difficult to coordinate across so many time zones. So thank you for your work on that.
また改めまして、OBT に、ご参加いただき、さまざまなご意見をいただきましたハンターの皆さんに、感謝申し上げます。OBT ではたくさんの声をいただいてからですね、チームの働きだったり製品のクオリティの向上というのは、本当に目覚ましいものがありまして、今もそれが続いています。ご期待いただけるってことがこんなにも力になるんだなってことを、改めて実感しています。
Just another, to repeat my previous sentiments, thank you so much to all the players who took part in the OBT. It's such a valuable opportunity for us to get your feedback and hear your voices, and we've taken that back to the team. It's become great motivation for them to keep working on the game's quality as we reach the final stages of development, and from what I've seen, they're doing great things, and there's some really great eye-opening stuff happening with the game, and we're continuing to work on that. So again, thank you for the
Yeah, that's what Coco do
opportunity
it as well.
to implement your feedback again.
It really is a pleasure. And once again, to echo Joe, thank you to Kudasan for your time. We know how incredibly busy yourself and the team are. Thank you, Patrick, for translating for us today. It's great to have you with us again after you joined us at Gamescom. And, from all of us here as well, thank you to you, the community, our awesome players. I mean, your feedback from the beta, your patience, your passion, it really is incredible. So thank you so much. And, does anyone have any ideas the best way to round this off? Joe, perhaps?
We wouldn't dare do a happy hunting across multiple time zones. You'll see the lag, but we should do it. We should try it, right?
All right. Are you do you want to give us a countdown?
ちょっと最後にどうしてもタイムラグが
They're going to try to synchronize a happy hunting across their different time zones
勢
with
の
the lag.
英語になるハッピーハンティングで最後の掛け声でカウントダウンの後にお願いします。
OK。
Okay.
OK。
I'll do the countdown. All right, ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Happy
Happy
hunting!
I think you have to get lagging.
Bye, everyone.
Japan got a
All right, thank
lag.
you, everybody. One more.
Well, let's just kind of line a little bit.
OK。
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Happy hunting!
Okay, this one is more synchronized. Hey, let's go.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, Marco. Okay, we're done. Pre-launch community update. Thank you for watching. Okay, I mean, overall, quite informative. I like it. You've been watching while troubleshooting your PC. So watching on your phone, I assume? Oh yeah, you did say your PC suddenly crashed or something, right? That's frightening, scary. Oh yeah, on Chromebook. Okay. I hope everything's alright, Sparkle. Oh shit, it was a flat out blue screen. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely concerning. You might need to try to I don't know. Well, it's going to be very difficult to replicate all this kind of thing because you're just streaming, playing a game, and not doing anything else weird. And then suddenly your console just your computer just blue screen. And it's not like this is your first time playing that game. You actually played it before and stuff. Yeah, it's not even a heavy game exactly. That's why I'm like. Also, rip Kage, rip. I purposely left it at his thing. Outswing is dead. Oof. I didn't know you could hold it though. You can like pound hold before you do the third swing, the golf swing. Did they confirm that they are doing a benchmark? I thought they said they are looking into doing it, not confirm doing it. Oh, they're so cute. But Sparkle, hopefully everything gets adjusted and fixed. I don't know. Because, yeah, it's always scary when our main, beefy, strong computer suddenly has an issue. I had my own scare back then when I first got this computer of mine, and then it started just shutting off on its own. Then I realized why. It was just overheating because I shoved the PC all the way inside the slot that I gave it. So it was blowing the hot air and it couldn't cool. So when I pulled it out and tested again, no more crashes. And it's been out ever since. I never pushed it back in after that. Alright, the teaser trailer for the Superman is here. I want to watch it. But for those people who are just here to watch the video, the community live stream, thanks for hanging out. Had quite a good time watching it. I don't normally do this kind of reaction things, but can consider doing more in the future. Normally I watch on Discord, like Nintendo Direct and stuff, cause it's more personal. But we'll see. I can still hang out and chit chat for a bit, but I'm getting hungry. Okay, that's the new Superman. I'm just curious to see how the vibes will be like. He does feel somewhat like a Superman. I like the Henry Cavill Superman, but I understand why people don't like it.
Crypto.
Oh my god, Crypto!
Home. Take me home.
Oh, take me home. Lex Luthor, Luthor Corp.
Superman.
Right now, it feels quite okay. Early opinions, the new Superman looks fine. I've been following the CW, that Superman and Lois, that show is pretty good. I would highly recommend watching if people are interested in Superman and stuff. The vibes and everything are super good. Then one friend that's always got a new job. Coco, why you raid me? I'm not playing a game or doing anything. I'm already done with the thing. Where's my upswing? Where's my upswing? Where's my upswing? Hi, Coco. You missed like maybe the first 3 minutes of the live stream, right? But other than that, you did make it, and I'm glad you made it. Thank you for the raid. So let's talk about the thing properly. I could only type your chat. I couldn't listen to you, so I didn't know what you said. But what are the opinions on the video? I am not happy about the removal of the friendly fire, but we already all knew that, so I'm like whatever. Exo missed it completely. It's okay, you can watch it again later. It's already on YouTube. It's a premiere. I do agree with nerfing the bow, the lock on thing. In the previous it was like they cannot fire. Now it's like then you can fire. You get where they're coming from. They want to make multi less toxic. I agree also, but here's the problem. They just solely focused on, oh, I'm afraid the newcomer not having fun and doesn't want to play anymore. But then now, because they did this change, right, the newcomer will never learn about positioning. Though, especially if they revisit an older game, because they're like, oh, I enjoyed WoW. Let's go to the older game. They will not learn anything about positioning. They're just going to keep whacking. Especially, okay, WoW, and in WoW you still can do flinch free. What if you go to GU and like even more older game? There's no such thing. They will not learn anything about positioning. That's my biggest concern. Then the second concern is that, yeah, I just want to have fun, like Wyvern firing you guys, upswinging you guys. We have so much fun friendly firing. With friends, we just be like, oh, stop, my shield, my stamina. We still do that kind of screaming. I actually like that kind of screaming. Exo, you're not that into the notes right now, you're waiting for the game to come out. That's actually the correct way to do it. You just don't care and play. Then multi-locking delays will come because you steal people's wounding attack. Yes, I agree. And especially because weapons like Charge Blade needs wounds to trigger the Savage X more easily. I think that's actually a very fine change because Bo has been stealing wounds very easily. The moment a wound appears, you just did it, bam. Another wound appears, did it, bam. It all belongs to the bow. No more Strike Freedom. Strike Freedom got reverted to version 0.03 beta. It log on is now like did it. Strike Freedom got slower, but Skira can shoot faster. Yeah, pretty much. Although cool, it's not really an update, but it's more like community live stream video thingy where they just tell people about the changes they're going to make, address a few questions, comments here and there that they received from community, so on and so forth. Then they demonstrated some stuff. Like the certain changes, like the IG gains back the arrow bouncing, so on and so forth. You're busy doing FF raid. Okay. Major thing for Cai Tao Gui. Friendly fire has been nerfed further. Then also, I mean, right now you can see I have the Siege X thing. You can just see they adjust things a bit. So you see this first part, they are showing the focus mode, because in the previous beta, when you do a focus attack and you swing and you miss, you have a very long delay. Now this one is sped up. So you focus, you hook, then you can immediately follow up faster. Then now the parry has been sped up a bit also for the sword mode. And then they made the full burst discharge, full release more rewarding. Now there's a big explosion every time you connect. I like it, but I wish they adjusted the quick release more. There's really not much reason to do quick release currently. Cause the full release is so fast that you're still fine committing to a full release rather than like you doing a quick release as a emergency maneuver. Hunting Horn bars getting nerfed, yeah, that's true. But not impactful enough, I feel. When you say major thing for Cai Tao Gui, friendly fire nerf, make it seem like friendly fire a lot. No comment. I was thinking in the terms of things that affect you. Things that will affect you. Like if I talk to you about bow changes, you won't give a shit. So in terms of like things that may affect you, like friendly fire, that's what I meant. What else changed? I can't remember what. Oh yeah, Hunting Horn. Hunting Horn about they said they felt that it was really too strong in the beta, especially because the beta version only had attack up small. So what they're doing now is, for now they did something like the effect on you will stay the same, but the effect on your teammates will be not as strong. Then also when you use the Hunting Horn to buff yourself and you change your main weapon, supposedly the duration will not be as long as it was in the beta. I would rather they just nerf the effect when you equip off Hunting Horn to another weapon, but we'll see how it goes. Friendly fire is your welcome drink to Hunting Horn. Why are you associated with friendly fire? Actually, the whole effect should be gone. I actually agree, Coco. But if they want to keep it, I get why they want to keep it, because if you completely remove it, then there's no reason for people to want to equip Hunting Horn and something. Then also imagine you play Hunting Horn and something, you play Hunting Horn, you buff yourself, you fight, you swap to another weapon for like maybe a wake up hit. Then you want to change back to Hunting Horn, you lose all your buff, you need to rebuff again. Even though you swap to the Great Sword for like maybe 20 seconds only. It's kind of So I can see why they did that, but what I personally would have done is that when you use Hunting Horn, you get the full buff. You change to another weapon, you get a nerf version of it, like maybe 50% effect or something. And then when you change back to that same Hunting Horn, same. Because it has to be same Hunting Horn, because otherwise you have two Hunting Horns, you can keep retaining buff from both by changing on Hunting Horn. So when you change back to that same Hunting Horn, the buffs go back to full strength again. That's what I would have done. But we'll see. It's like saying you can keep Demon Dance effect while changing from Dual Blade to Longsword. Yeah. But you see, you think about it, things like Charge... not Charge Blade, Siege X, you retain your... I think you retain your files and whatever, right? Even when you swap off the weapon. For that little bit. And Tenchi is like, it's okay, we can still be the lowest pick weapon. Why worry? Nobody uses Hunting Horn. I know, right? Who the fuck uses Hunting Horn? Oh. Guys, you see my Discord? I screenshotted one thing I saw in the YouTube chat. And then I tried it in Discord, I was just laughing. This one guy was like, please don't add Tigrex. I swear if I see fucking tailspin and rolling and moving about, I'm not buying the game. It's great. I shared it in Discord. Okay, let me just look at the rest of you things. What the frick? Sparkle was like somehow the uptime on my stream is mega negative. Nani? Then do the yeah, you guys look at the Monster Hunter World channel in my Discord, you will see it. Wait, my uptime is still in the negative? Oh my god, Sparkle, that's lovely. I'm traveling backwards in time or you're watching from the future. But yeah, I can't think of any other major change that may affect Cai Tao Kuei. So yeah, it's just Friendly Fire and the Switch exchange. It's counting down to 0 for you. That's so weird. Like actually very weird. Yeah, it's normal on my screen. Also, I can't remember whether I shouted out Coco yet. I think I haven't shouted him out yet. So shout out to Kotoko, my friend from Singapore. Also play a lot of Monster Hunter. I met him through Monster Hunter. Your last category is wilds. Interesting. You change to wild for the live stream. Yes, he's my friend from Singapore. Plays Monster Hunter. Met him through Monster Hunter. We hunt a lot together. Good friend. Follow him if you ever followed, even though I think most of you already follow him. And enjoy your shower, Coco. He literally came home from outdoors and immediately started streaming. He couldn't shower. Enjoy your shower. Enjoy getting wet, as Kirada likes to say. Yeah, before just now while waiting for live stream to start, I was scrolling through my Twitter. And then now I'm just still looking at stuff. Where's my upswinging? Is there a GIF that can put like deleted or something? Okay, this works. Remove spy! Animal Crossing New Horizon has sold 8 million physical copies in Japan. It's the best selling game ever in Japan on any platform. Interesting. Online interview, I'm nervous, so I made a romance game filter. Omae, omoshiroi onna da. Uchi, something tanoshii yo. Oh my god. Fuck, you need that. Come, you make your own one, Tenshi. You got the idea already. So the thing says something like, oh, you are a very interesting girl. Something about it was fun. There's no plans for second beta. You have to guess it's probably because heavy data mining leaks. I agree. I always think it's fucked up for all the people doing data mining. But whether it is or not, who knows. You go make that next time you booth, you sell there also. Hey, come on! You want to borrow one spot? I don't mind. Legit. But you need to make like different like screen resolution. You make one for like the 22 inch, make one for 23 inch, make one for 14 inch. All the different monitors and everything. Correct. Different screen sizes. Anyway, now, like since I'm doing this and scrolling through my Twitter now, you guys can see the shit I look at when I'm on Twitter. But yeah, so any other feelings about what was discussed on the stream? I'm curious. Yeah. Bye, YV. No demo. You don't even know what's on your Twitter. I mean, you don't scroll very often, so there is. God, I will defend 15 and 13 even if it means I have to fight the world. Lady Aurora. When she cosplayed as Blake back in the day. From Ruby, and this one was Yang Xiaolong. When you go on there, you don't know half the posts they show you. Oh yeah, that's true. The algorithm is all screwed up now because of a certain CEO out there. I fear no man, but the Monster Hunter community takes on IG, that scares the shit out of me. Yeah, right now I was just watching the Superman teaser trailer when you guys dropped in with Coco stream. I like it so far. Initially I don't know what to feel because I couldn't see anything. Right now it seems okay. This state of play is the most historic state of play ever. You got the 2024 flop of the year and the 2024 game of the year all in the 35-minute presentation. Screenshot. Go back to meme sharing. Oh! Okay. I've used my Twitter often enough that it's showing me shit that I actually care about. Who are you? Mara only has 2 flips and then the Celebi can just keep flipping. Welcome back, Lin. The community stream thing is over. I'm now scrolling through my Twitter right now. I'm thinking of stopping soon because I'm actually getting hungry. And I need to be up kind of early tomorrow. Gargomon. Sainto Gargomon. I already saw all these just now. Yeah, I guess can look to end if there's anyone out there. Kela's playing Dark Souls 2, YV is playing Infinity Nikki. Lord Fairy playing Path of Exile 2. Real Dragon Lord playing Zenless Zone 0. Should I raid Lord Fairy? I haven't raided her, but I did talk to her a little bit the other time. Big Heroes playing Path of Exile 2 as well. Should I raid a new person or should I just raid friends as I've always been doing? Aya, support lah. Since that time I introduced myself to her and everything. Raid lah. Okay, thanks for hanging around, guys. I'm going to go look for some food and maybe try to sleep early so that I can wake up early tomorrow. Try. Good night, Sparkle. Yeah, we'll rate your PC says 3 p.m. Your PC is so screwed up right now, oh my god. Yeah, we'll rate Lord Fairy. She's currently playing Path of Exile 2. She's a Singaporean streamer that I met a few weeks back. Coco has raided her before as well. She dabbles in like a bit more mainstream games, but I'm quite sure she'll play Monster Hunter when it comes out, so we'll see whether that happens. Oh, my neck. But yes, PC sick too, Sparkle spread her virus. Attention, if you want support, I don't mind, yeah. I'll be hungry. Hint, hint. But yeah, I'll just send the raid over first. Catch you guys another time. Bye bye. Message, Tenshi. Wait, message. Why is your screen on your tweet? What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm okay with fetching you, but if you got idea, then I don't mind. Okay, see ya guys.